Hello and welcome to Not Gambling Advice, the baseball betting show on the Just Baseball Network. It is Tuesday, June 20th, and I'm here to deliver some MLB winners. Loaded show today. Absolutely loaded. Producer Cromwell, we got 40 picks. 40 picks, and I got 6 of them. I'm spraying the board. So before we get into anything, of course, we know this is presented by Pikkit. We're going to be doing a Prize Picks community entry, so make sure if you're new to Prize Picks, use code JustBaseball, get that 100% deposit match. Same thing with BetMGM, same code, JustBaseball, tons of bonus bets. You want to be locked in because that's, of course, where all the picks are. But why did I spray the board? I had a talk with myself last night, and I know it's cliche, but I sat down and asked myself, like, what am I doing? What am I doing here? Losses are losses. Like, it's going to happen, right? We can't win every bets. Long-term sports bettors, professional sports bettors, if they win at 56%, you're one of the best, right? So I know some bets are going to lose. That's the bottom line. And of course, we're on a 9-game losing streak for me. And if you could flash the leaderboard, I've fallen completely out of first place. I have fallen, and of course, this is tracked on the Pikkit Sports app. I have fallen completely out of the first 3, right? And I keep thinking to myself, why am I limiting myself? Why do I feel the need to be so ultra conservative? Why am I timid? Why am I soft? I know the game like the back of my hand, right? This is my love. I am obsessed with baseball until the day I die. I have plenty of leans. Like, for example, yesterday, why didn't I bet the Cardinals Nats over? It's because the only reason I didn't bet it, and I'm being completely honest with you guys, the only reason I didn't bet it is because I've been losing in the afternoon. That doesn't make sense, Peter. So I talk myself out of plays. When I'm on a losing streak, basically everything has to line up. And the problem when I'm limiting myself, when everything has to line up, is when everything does line up. We know baseball. When everything lines up, it doesn't always hit. More often than not, it doesn't because it's too easy. Now, the Sunday Night Baseball system, we're playing that every time. That's just an L. It's a system that cashes. It's 5-1. Now it's 5-2, right? But here's the reality. I'm good at this, right? We've built up a bankroll that has exceeded 100 units on 1-unit plays. I know I'm good at this between the NFL and the MLB. People sleep on the NFL picks, by the way. People sleep on the NFL picks. People don't even know I'm up 32 units over 2 years or something like that. I'm worrying too much about what's currently happening rather than kind of looking at the full picture. If I like it moving forward, I'm betting on it. And what's crazy, it's like, I also consider this too. It's not like we're down 15 units on the year. I'm still up on the year. So this is the new wave. Today's plays could go 0-6. They could go 6-0, right? We're obviously going to track the results, and results are important, but I'm playing what I want to play. This is a new Peter. This is a new me. And I wrote this in my article. It's kind of cliche. I'm 25 years old, right? I'm not perfect. I'm learning. I'm growing. I'm getting better at this by the day. I'm learning what works. And what isn't working is limiting myself, being too conservative, being timid, being soft. It's not working for me. All right? But one thing I want to do, I want to shout out you guys because I've gotten so many DMs from you all. And of course, you got the negative DMs, you got the laughing, you got whatever. But the overwhelming majority of them have been very positive. And that's why I love this community so much, because I don't have dumb followers. I don't have idiots following me. That's why I love talking to you guys every day. That's why I love doing the stream, hearing your guys' feedback, because I know you guys are smart, right? And when I see the feedback that you're giving me, it gives me so much more confidence in myself, because what am I doing? All right? Just wanted to make that short speech. I love you guys, right? Thick and thin. We're going to ride it out together. And it's been a great MLB season so far. A lot of ups and downs. I told you this at the beginning. There's going to be highs. There's going to be lows. When I was up 17, 18 units like 2 weeks ago, I said there's going to be downs, right? And then there's going to be ups too. Let's fucking kill it. Let's fucking kill it. Let's kill it. All right? Let's get into it. Because I got 6 plays, but first let's do a recap of yesterday. Yeah, let's do a quick recap of yesterday. Damn it. Damn it. Pablo, can we talk about the damn Twins? Because I was getting chirped on by Twins Twitter, which I respect. A lot of really smart guys. But I knew, and I think if you watch baseball, you knew, like, once Giovanni Moran came in, the game was over. And the reason I'm saying that, I get it. The lefty, spare me. We know that Giovanni Moran, when I spoke about the game yesterday, who did I talk about? Griffin Jax, Brock Stewart, Yohan Duran. I said, those are your three rested, ready to go guys. If you watch baseball, if you know the Red Sox, you knew that once they brought in the lefty, they are going to pinch hit with Rob Refsnyder, who has a 170 WRC plus against left-handed pitching. 170. You know who else has a 170 WRC plus right now? Shohei Ohtani. And he walked. And then Verdugo, who's actually been good against lefties this season. What are we doing? Brock Stewart has better splits against lefties than Giovanni Moran does. It is what it is. We lost. All right. That's the bottom line. How do I join the contest? So, unfortunately, Top Shelf Action, my guy, we did this at the beginning of the season, so everybody's already loaded in Pikkit. We got it set up from the beginning. But Top Shelf Action, sometimes when we don't have that many people coming on, we send a link in and you can give out your plays. More than happy to help you on, my friend. More than happy. Topper. More than happy. More than happy. All right? You know, when the only runs were from a Vasquez home run, we were cooked. Exactly. Like, we had to score anyway, so, like, it didn't really matter. I'm just talking about game script, because once the Red Sox went up, the game was over. Because then they put in Emilio Pagan, and they put in all their garbage, and then it's over. And then the Twins, the life is sucked out of them. Like, do I think they could have scored if it was 3-3? They got that momentum back? Yes, but it doesn't matter. We lost. But let's get into today. 6 picks, okay? And the first one, Atlanta Braves versus the Philadelphia Phillies. Spencer Strider against Ranger Suarez. We should bet on the Braves today because they're good against lefties, and Strider is due to bounce back. Here's the way I see it. I think Strider's having real issues. The velocity on his fastball is hovering around 96, which sounds great, but it's not quite as electric as the 98 that we're used to. And the vertical break is down, which is important because Strider usually gets 21 to 22 inches of induced vertical break. That's what gives it that life, right? You see it just rising in the zone. You see batters just swinging under and being like, holy hell, that took off like an airplane. It's not doing that, and there's a reason why, right? He's still a young pitcher. Everyone mounted him the greatest pitcher of all time. And you look at any model, they're going to like him, obviously, because his peripherals are still great because he still is such a big strikeout threat. But when the vertical break is down and the command isn't there, at the end of the day, he's a 2-pitch guy. Like, he flirts with a changeup a little bit, but it's mostly fastball slider. If he's not landing the fastball, he's in for a tough game. And we've seen it over the past 2 starts. He was crushed by the Mets and the Tigers in back-to-back starts and even struggled before that. Now, the Phillies are plenty familiar with him and haven't pulled out a win since the 2022 postseason, right? The home runs have been Strider's issue, though. And the fastball hasn't been nearly as lethal. And there isn't as much of a power-driven team in this league than the Phillies in June. And in June, where the Phillies eat, they rank 7th in baseball in WRC plus at 112 and 6th in OPS against right-handed pitching. The Braves have a 127 WRC plus in June. It's no secret. They're one of the best in baseball. But they're going to face a pitcher that's done very well against them. That's Ranger Suarez. Now, we all know that I've faded him a couple times, and I'm left holding my you-know-what in my hands. You know, you know what I'm saying. When he's on, he's extremely good. But he's on one of those stretches where he just shoves, working with a 0.90 ERA this month, and the peripherals always look great. He threw 28 innings against his Braves this season, pitching to a 3.21 ERA. He's done really well against them. Now, this Braves offense looks as good, if not better, than last year. But Sean Murphy, let me just do a quick check of the lineup, making sure he's not in, because he's been dealing with hamstring. Let me see. No Sean Murphy. Good. Because he destroys left-handed pitching. Another caveat is I'm playing the Braves coming off a 4-game series against the Rockies where they obliterated them. They faced plenty of well below average arms, and now they got to travel to Philadelphia to face a team that's on fire, that sees blood with Strider. We all know the entire world's going to be on Strider as a relatively short favorite. It'll be in every parlay across the country. And honestly, I'm so sick of trying to plan out the bullpens for the managers. I'm not saying that I'm better than them. I'm not. There's a reason I'm doing the show and that they're in the dugout. But I'm pitching my best guys when they're rested, right? So I'm sick of trying to plan it out. I'm just going to look at both bullpens, see which one gives us a shot. And I know this Braves bullpen has fallen below expectations. And the Phillies have some high-powered arms. And the only one where I'm like, oh, I don't know if he's going to pitch is Jose Alvarado, who is key for the Phillies. But so when we look at how many pitches has he thrown, he's thrown 34 pitches in the last 2 days, nine pitches Saturday, 25 pitches Sunday. Didn't pitch yesterday. Remember, he's still coming back from injury. So like his arm's fresh. He could totally go today. I grabbed the Phillies at the opener, right? We've seen some regular line movement. What is it on BetMGM right now? Let's see. What's the Phillies? What's this Phillies line right now? What is it on BetMGM? On BetMGM right now, the Phillies are plus 125. So we've seen a little bit of natural line movement go towards the Braves when everybody and their mother is on the Braves. And what I will say is when I wrote the article this morning, the Phillies were plus 104. Lineups came out, and now the Phillies are minus 101. So it's basically calling them a pick 'em, right? Producer Cohen's going to share the screen and show you kind of what the board looks like on BetMGM right now. So the model even likes them. And it's funny, the model has kind of hated Ranger Suarez. It's a big reason why I've been fading him and it normally loves Spencer Strider. The fact that it has it as a pick 'em, minus 101 towards the Phillies, 50.2% chance, absolutely no brainer. I'll be on the Phillies today. Okay, let's get into play number 2, which is the Kansas City Royals versus the Detroit Tigers. At 6:40 p.m. Eastern, the pitching matchup is Daniel Lynch versus Michael Lorenzen. So I went back and forth on this one, right? Trying to figure out kind of how Michael Lorenzen was going to pitch. I thought about the full game over. I thought about the Tigers through the first 5, and I concluded with the reason that I just like it. I like the Tigers. Daniel Lynch, he's off to a really rough start. And I just don't see it turning around. I mean, who knows? He could pitch well today. It's baseball. You never know. But when 3 of your 4 pitches have an XWOBA, which means the quality of contact over 400, 400 is elite for batters. It's just hard to find your footing. Now, he's throwing more strikes than ever, but it's not resulting in strikeouts. It's resulting in runs. His 5.79 ERA isn't quite what he deserves, but his peripherals still aren't very good. He's rocking a 5.11 xERA, a 5.38 FIP, and a 4.63 SIERA. And he's going up against the best team in baseball, against lefties, in June. The Tigers ranked number 1 in WRC plus at 142 and second in OPS against Southpaws in June. This offense will get to face Lynch, who's never been any good against them. Through 61 plate appearances, Lynch is rocking a 582 expected slug and a 386 xWOBA. Eric Haas and Javier Baez had a much-needed day off yesterday, and now they get to face one of their favorite pitchers. You factor in one of the worst bullpens in baseball with key arms not being rested, and the Tigers team total is basically just where I landed. The model has Lynch as the worst starter on the board, and the Tigers putting up, again, 5.09 runs. Now that lineups have been set, that got raised to 5.19, which is key because the home team always has a little bit of a decrease in runs just because when the model sims and, like, let's say the Royals won, right? The Royals win 35% of the sims. That's the only time where the Tigers are, of course, going to get the bottom of the 9th factored into their run scoring. So I think they're going to put up 3 to 4 against Lynch and then trickle in a few more against the bullpen. I don't know what Lorenzen is going to do. His numbers are horrible against the Royals, but I just don't have faith in the Royals after Lorenzen makes his adjustments, right? Because that was also with Vinny Pasquantino. I don't know what they're going to do. And not to mention, the Tigers bullpen is just solid and they're well-rested. Now, the Royals could win this game. If they just keep beating up on Lorenzen, I wouldn't be surprised. That's why I'm not laying, Lorenzen's numbers are objectively bad. I just don't know how he's, hey, Mookie, I don't know how he's going to bounce back today. So I just took what I'm the most confident in, which is the Tigers team total over 4.5 at minus 105. It's 1.05 units to win 1 unit. So let's talk about a game I have 2 plays in. Pitching matchup. That's the Cardinals versus the Nats. Pitching matchup is Jordan Montgomery versus Mackenzie Gore. So this game caught my eye in multiple spots, right? When I do my daily stat dive to see how teams are kind of doing in their current state, I came across something kind of odd. Cardinals have a 38 WRC plus against lefties in June. 38. 62% below league average. Holy shit. But I gave them a larger sample. In the last 30 days, Cardinals have a 71 WRC plus against lefties. It's terrible. And they're normally really good. The Nationals have a 96 WRC plus against lefties, so even their mashing hasn't been quite as elite, but still good. They are still solid again. The Nationals' way of putting balls in play, That's what the Nationals do. That's their way, right? They don't really want to walk. They're an aggressive team, and they need guys who throw a lot of strikes. It's Jordan Montgomery, right? He throws strikes, relies on the defense to help him out. It's not a good recipe for this Nationals team. Mackenzie Gore is also a severe reverse splits guy, surrendering 1,000 OPS to lefties, 661 to righties. What did Ollie Marmol and the Cardinals do? They stacked the top of their lineup with righties. Good stuff. I mean, that's just, manager. Like, what are we doing? If I was managing, I would put lefties at the front. Like, whatever. The Nationals bullpen is such a crapshoot, but so is the Cardinals. St. Louis has blown 15 leads this season. 15. And my faith in them is gone for now. Things could change. Gone for now. The Nationals at least have their better arms ready for this one. Hunter Harvey, Mason Thompson, Kyle Finnegan. Not great, but they're rested and ready to go, so they should be okay. And the Cardinals on the flip side, Jordan Hicks, 44 pitches. Palante, 36. Gallegos, 28. Stratton, 26. They can go to Genesis Cabrera. Another lefty for the Nats. Not something I'm afraid of. So the model likes the Nats a lot. Has them at minus 107. So they should be the favorites. But it is both teams scoring plenty of runs. And it makes sense, as totals in Nationals Park with weather like this have been soaring over when the wind is acting like this. The over wins at a 55% rate, going 183, 148, and 14 for a 7% ROI, according to an Action Pro database. Maybe this is also naive, but I also kind of think this is worth a sort of a hedge because I completely believe in the Nationals scoring run. What would suck is if the Cardinals win in a low-scoring game, right? That would suck. We would lose both. But the way I see it is that I do think the Nationals are going to put up runs. But why I'm taking the over is that I think they're going to score enough, but I do think the Cardinals are going to have plenty of success here. I'm more seeing this game as like a Nationals 5-4 type win. Maybe even more, maybe like 6-5. The Nationals offense is better right now. Starting pitching matchup, relatively even. And with the way the Cardinals bullpen is, it's not that much of a difference. Cardinals are coming off a big win. Nats have home field advantage. Well worth a play on both sides. So I played the Nats money line at plus 125, and I played the over 8.5, right, for a unit. But also just something to note too, because these things are going to happen. But we got line movement on the Twins. Look how that worked out. But again, you always want to be on the right side of line movement. Total has moved down. Nationals has also moved in our direction. So remember, you don't have to play everything, right? I always say that you don't have to play everything. These are just my picks. If you like them, tail them. If not, fade them. Whatever you want to do. But what I will say is I always want to be as transparent as humanly possible because my only goal is for you to win. I want to win too, but my goal is for you to win. This total went from minus 120 to minus 110. Nationals went from plus 125 to plus 120. Good line movement Nats, bad line movement total. We'll see. Cubs versus Pirates is our fifth game? Fifth game, because we got two more picks. It's Marcus Stroman versus Yohan Oviedo. BetMGM is being so nice to us. Cubs have won 7 of the last 9 games, including a 3-game sweep of the Pirates. Pirates have lost 7 in a row, and now they're letting us bet the Cubs with their best pitcher when they already won the last matchup at minus 130. How kind of them. The Cubs might win today. No doubt about it. But this sport does not work long-term like that. It just doesn't. Besides just the line itself, this game makes total sense for the Cubs. Stroman just tossed 6 innings of 2-run ball against Pittsburgh. Oviedo couldn't get out of the 5th inning. Do you have Prize Picks pulled up, Producer Cohen? I want you to go to Pitcher Fantasy Score, that category. I want the people to see this. I want you to go to Pitcher Fantasy. Pitcher Fantasy, Producer Cohen. And what I want you to do is scroll down to where Oviedo and Marcus Stroman are sitting next to each other. You see Oviedo's at 30.5 right there? What's Stroman? Can you click on those little numbers on the left-hand side of Stroman? No, the little, that. What does that make you think, ladies and gentlemen? What does that make you think? Now click on Oviedo, please. What does that make you think? Right? I'm not crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Marcus Stroman and Yohan Oviedo have the same odds of recording a win, or at least it's close now. They opened where Oviedo had better odds to record a win. Stroman is plus 105 to surpass 2.5 earned runs. Oviedo is plus 110. Oviedo has a higher strikeout line than Stroman. Marcus Stroman is minus 140 to go over 5.5 hits. Oviedo is plus 115. Something's fishy here. This is a straight up line read. Remember, I haven't been doing this lately. And this is something that I've been good at, right? I know the game. And when I'm seeing north of 80% of the tickets on the Cubs and the line has come down to plus 110 from the open at plus 115, I'm going with the Pirates. Like, this is what I need to get back to. Could it lose? Absolutely. That's just the name of the game. But I need to get back to doing this. This is where I can make real money. I'm telling you. Again, might lose. Not everything's perfect. But these type of plays I want to make far more often. Straight line move, right? Reading lines, too good to be true. I could spin you the most beautiful pitch of the Cubs you've ever heard. The most beautiful pitch of the Cubs you've ever heard. We're taking the Pirates. Let's go to Mets versus Houston. Justin Verlander taking on Framber Valdez. It's a big starting pitching matchup. Let's fade it. It's not all in the starters, right? Who I expect to pitch relatively well. Not great, but I expect to pitch fine. But it's also a play on a less desirable bullpens at the moment. Now, the Mets are known for being a bad team against lefties, but not lately. They're sporting the 7th best WRC plus at 122 against Southpaws while being in the middle of the pack in ground ball rate, which is big against Framber. Now, Framber's fantastic. I love Framber. Some slight, he knows about Framber. Framber's a bad man. And it's rare to see him struggle. I don't expect him to get blown up, but his props are a little bit sketchy. And he's going up against a Mets offense that's really found its stride, at least lately. Producer Cohen, can you confirm that? How the Mets offense bats looks?
We could watch these highlights right here and just take a look. Okay.
Let's watch these highlights. These are good highlights. Look at that man, Tommy Pham. Bushwhack. That'll be Nimmo. Beatty. I looked really quick. That'd be baby. Oh, this is Nimmo. Yeah, we're going to put a triple in here. All right, but it's not really even worth looking into Framber's xERA or Sierra. Like, they all say he's worse than he is. Honestly, like, I could spin and be like, oh, Framber's xERA is in the 3s and his Sierra's in the 3s. It doesn't matter. He outdoes his peripherals year over year. I'm not here to tell you that. However, he can be hit, especially against a team like the Mets, who are above the league average against both sinkers and curveballs by run value. Framber's going to really have to dominate for this to go under, which is possible, but I don't think it's going to happen. Now, Neris has been their best arm, Hector Neris. Some slight would probably say that as well. If you look at ERA and you just look at it, he's been freaking awesome. But besides that, it's been weaker than in previous seasons. Maytone has also been fantastic, but Maytone's thrown 49 pitches in the last 3 days, so we're not going to see him. And if he does, great. He's not rested. Abreu was awesome. He could be available in this one, even though he's thrown 21 pitches in the last 2 days. But he's not an ideal rest, and neither is Presley. Like, these guys are in the 20-pitch range in the last 2 days, so they're not well rested. And on the flip side, we got Verlander returning to Houston. People may call it kind of the revenge game for Verlander. I think it's more of a revenge factor on the Astros side. Verlander won his championship and then left for more money. The Astros know him well, and after getting embarrassed, I'm expecting their bats to show up. Through 90 plate appearances against the Astros' current roster, Verlander's rocking a 337 opponent average, 329 xWOBA, 460 expected slug. That's also from a better Verlander than we see today. Velocity is down across the board, leading to a 3.84 expected ERA, the worst since 2017. Now, the Mets, they don't have anyone that scares me coming in after him. Rayleigh has been the second best arm to Robertson. He's not going to be available, right? Rayleigh's thrown 36 pitches in the last 3 days. If he is, won't be rested. Ottavino hasn't been great either. He's not well rested. Robertson's really the only arm I'm afraid of. Am I wrong, Producer Cohen? He just said, I'm so right. Yeah. And if he comes in, it's probably if they're winning. And like, if not, he probably won't even pitch. He might, but he did throw 8 pitches on Sunday. Now, it's a very low total. I'm not here to tell you that it's going to go 16 runs or anything. But what I can see is kind of this 4-4 game going into extras. Now, the roof is going to be closed, which the model hates, which drops its run projection. Because when I put it in, it was 7.5, I think, minus 115. Dropped it because of the roof being closed. It overreacts. I'm not going to. Give me the Astros versus the Mets over 7.5. And those are the plays, ladies and gentlemen. We're spraying the board. Feel good. Feel ready. Again, what I don't want to happen, which will happen inevitably because of social media. Let's say I have a losing day. People are going to be like, oh, you went around. This is the way it is. I feel confident in the way I know ball, and I'm going to play what I like. Instead of going to the ballpark pal model, because I know we're running late on time, let's do home runs instead. Because people, what we can do is we can look at the ballpark pal model, right? You can load it up on your computer, load it up on your phone. You can just look through the games. Yeah, Producer Cohen will send the link. So you can kind of look at them as people are, because those are the math plays, right? People are kind of because I'm telling you, I could go over the ballpark battle model. I think it's a waste of time, to be completely honest, because everyone has plays on every single game today. It's an absolutely loaded slate. So what you can do is when someone's giving out a pitch, you can just look at the model and be like, oh, they're completely against it, or oh, they're on the right side. I like the pitch. Then you can go with it if you want to. Again, remember, it's your responsibility for pressing that button. Let's look at some weird home run guys that are up on this model. 5 units on the Rangers. All right. So Mickey Moniak up there is interesting. A lot of Angels against Kershaw. Which is pretty interesting. Pete Alonso, obviously not in. Nobody's really that weird. Vaughn's kind of weird. Anyone see anyone? I mean, Mickey Moniak, of course, is weird against a lefty. Nolan Jones could be a definite good pick. Great American Ballpark, good weather conditions there. Oh, Pete's playing? Oh, yeah, he's back. That's huge. I forgot about that. I assumed he wasn't in with the over. That's actually great. I forgot. Yeah. I was watching the game. What the hell am I talking about? So, a lot of games I just forget. I think the weirdest one is Moniak, but I actually just like Nolan Jones. Nolan Jones against Ben Lively is a good one. All right, let's keep going. Schwarber. Also, look at those A's. Look at those A's. Seth Brown, Ryan Noda, Gunnar. There's a couple of weird guys up here today. We like seeing Trey Turner. We like seeing Bryce Harper. A lot of Phillies against Strider. I ain't crazy, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a little crazy, but I ain't that crazy. Jake Bowers, fuck you. I would say those A's. I think Seth Brown is honestly a very good pick today. Jake Bowers, sure. Yeah, sure. He's always up here. People who wouldn't watch the stream, I feel like Jake Bowers is always up here. He hasn't hit a home run since Tom. No, I mean, he's a pretty good hitter. But I would look at Seth Brown. That would be my pick from this side. And my pick from the other side would be Nolan Jones. So those would be my 2 home runs today on Dinger Tuesday. Give me Nolan Jones. And then give me Seth Brown. 2 disgusting guys. 2 absolutely disgusting guys. A's may score a lot today. Let's get after it. All right. I think it's time for Aram Layton. So, Aram, go to muted.
I'm here.
First, want to shout out kids going to London. Got to work on the British accent. He's going to be there for the London series, covering it for Just Baseball. What a goat. It's going to be sick. And you get to watch the Cardinals.
Yeah, they're good, right? They're really good.
Yeah, they're really good.
God. Cardinals, it's just battle of mid. We're giving the Brits the crappy games. It's not right.
No, they deserve it.
We give them the Jags for the NFL. We give them the Jags all the time. We give them the Dolphins before they were like decent.
We did give them like a 13-11 Yankee Red Sox game last time.
That is true. We did give them that, and that was electric. I hope they get the baseballs this time. I'll try to scope it out. I'm gonna be looking around, watching BP, seeing what kind of baseballs we're using. If we have the juice balls, I'll try to report back.
So you got a flight. So you got to get on. So we got to be quick. And I want to get your picks because we just have so many picks today in general. Yeah. First, I want to say you were spot on against Brian Hoeing and then Barrios.
Barrios, of course, bro. The Marlins take the over by themselves. Are you kidding me? I'll lose that way. That's fine. But Hoeing, for folks in the chat, there's value in Brian Hoeing. Just know that.
All right, let's get into play number 1. What are we on today?
So we got Royals, Tigers over 8.5. And these are 2 teams that are not the best offensively. But the Tigers offense, I think with Kerry Carpenter back involved, it looks a little bit better. Torkelson's been swinging the bat better of late. Riley Green looks good. I think the offense
is still hurt.
Sorry?
I think Green's still hurt.
Green's still hurt. So, but you've got Kerry Carpenter swinging it really well. I like the way the offense has looked compared to what it's looked like in the past. And Daniel Lynch has been brutal. It's just one of those things where I think Lynch is pretty much a guarantee to at least give up 3-4 runs every single start. And we got an 8.5 total here. Lorenzen's come down to earth. The last couple starts, he's been bombed. And I think the Royals are good enough offensively to get to him, at least to a degree. All we need here is for both these guys to give up a few runs through the first 5. And then I think the bullpens will take care of the rest, to be honest. So 8.5 was just way too low for me. with both of these pitchers on the mound and with the bullpens as well. So that was an easy over for me.
Good stuff. Pick number 2, because I'm on the Tigers team total over. The reason I didn't play the full game over, Michael Lorenzen, last time he faced Royals, got crushed. A lot of Vinny P. No Vinny P now. I was like, does Lorenzen make an adjustment? The Tigers bullpen pitch. I was like, I don't know, but what do I like? The Tigers to score. So I just took them.
Absolutely. All right. So we're halfway there together. And then next play is a half unit play. I think my first half unit play of the year, but this is just a straight value play. Okay. It's Orioles money line. I don't like betting against really good teams, but I also do like betting on great teams at plus money. And Glass now has been great. I think he looks really good now that he's been back, but they're not going to ride him 9 innings if he's locked in. And Kyle Bradish has been really damn good lately. Like, it's been pretty impressive. So for me, this is one of those situations where I know teams don't hit well in Tampa. I know that there's a lot of reasons that swing this game potentially in the Rays' favor. But for a 44-27 team like the Orioles with Bradish, who's Kate 11, the other star, like, he's been really good on the bump. To me, to get that kind of value, to almost be able to win a unit with a half unit is a no-brainer drop for me, especially when I've got 5 plays today. So this is a straight value play, but I think when you get a team this good at plus 145, I think it might be plus 150 on depending on when you time it up. To me, that's too much value.
Yeah, let me see right now, plus 145. So it's the same price that you gave it at. So maybe it would jump back up to plus 150 and then back down to where you like it. So we're chilling.
Love that one. And then next play is, I got to tail Bailey over. And I'm going with the Twins first 5. Minus a half run is even odds right there. So you could take the money line if you want. Depends how optimistic you are or pessimistic you are in Cutter Crawford. I'm going to fade Cutter Crawford every single time. I know the Twins aren't playing great. I know the Red Sox are playing decent. Home game for the Twins. Red Sox don't swing it as well right away from Fenway. Bailey Ober's been great. Bailey Ober's been absolutely fantastic. I think he keeps them in check. I don't like Cutter Crawford at all. I just think it's pretty safe that they're going to get 2 to 3 on him. It's just whether Ober can keep them, keep the Red Sox to 1-2. I think he can through the first 5. And, for me, I'm getting the better pitcher. I'm getting the home team. And, if the Twins offense swings it the way they should be, I think the teams are pretty comparable right now. Offensively, Red Sox are better, but I still like the Twins in this one, especially with this heavy starting pitching advantage.
Good stuff. I mean, I just watched the Twins bats yesterday. I know it was Paxton. His velo wasn't even there. He was throwing 93, 94. They suck.
Yeah.
But I keep waiting for Cutter Crawford's advanced stuff to give it. He's a reliever. He's great through 2 innings.
Yes. That's the thing. So, okay, they'll stretch him to 4 or 5. I really like it. If they don't, okay, go to your middle reliever there. I'll feel just fine. I think Ober will keep things in check.
If they go to Kluber, at the 3rd, you are so in the money. This might be a max.
Think about it, they could go to Kluber in the 5th, even if Cutter Crawford's decent. Now we got one last shot there to get some runs. I really like this situation here. So that's probably one of my favorite plays of the day. That's for 1 unit.
The only issue is the Twins suck, but whatever.
Yeah.
But
I think Cutter Crawford sucks more.
That's fair. The battle of the suck. All right, let's go to play number 4.
Number 4, we got White Sox Rangers first 5 under 4.5. This felt like a square play, but then I was kind of looking at it. I was like, maybe this is just one that is just there on the board. I like it. So you got a White Sox team that I don't have to talk too much about them. We spent way too much time talking about them on the Just Baseball show and how brutal they are. But you get Nady Eovaldi on the bump. It was surprising to see the 4.5. I think a lot of people have been kind of fading Cease to a degree this year. But Cease has looked a lot better of late. He's landing strikes at a higher clip. He's been more effective. The last few starts have been really good. I think it's a really tough matchup, and I think that's a big reason why you see the over 4.5. But I think Eovaldi's going to carve through the White Sox, to be honest. And I do feel like Dylan Cease can at least hold this Rangers lineup in check. The way he's looked of late has been really good. Risky play, but I feel like 4.5 is just way too high in the first 5 with the best pitcher in baseball right now in Eovaldi and Cease, who's looked much better of late.
Fat Girls Inc., which is, first of all, hilarious. Second of all, he's been an absolute goat in chat. Shout out you, Fat Girls. Just me saying that is so insane. He says no Luis Robert, no Timmy A, which you kind of want Tim Anderson in the lineup. honestly.
Right now, maybe.
Luis Robert not being in the lineup is huge.
Great. He's been swinging it great. So
he should be an all-star. He's been fantastic. Yeah. It's just the White Sox fan base ain't voted for him because they already clocked out in May.
They're voting for other people, I think.
Yeah.
I'm voting for the competitors. I wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, no Robert's big in that lineup. So you like it even more at that point.
Roducer Wowen. Play number 5.
Play number 5 is a fate of my Miami Marlins. We're going to go. This is just crazy value, dude. Like, come on. The Marlins have been good. They have been decent against teams above 500. And they shellacked the Jays yesterday. We know that. We saw that. I don't think that they're going to do it again. And you don't
think the Miami Marlins make a Miami is going to beat the Blue Jays again?
Not 10-zip. And I don't think they win, period. You're getting even odds on the Toronto Blue Jays. Yuri Perez, I think that's a big reason why. And a lot of people are seeing Wonderkin, Yuri Perez on the bump, Marlins at home. They're hot. Ride the Marlins. Yuri, I'm still waiting on that welcome to the big league start for Yuri.
You've been saying that.
The expected stats are a little bit he's been great, but they're not as good.
I know, it's weird. The peripherals hate him. And I'm like,
yeah. And Yuri's great. He's the best pitching prospect of baseball. He's going to be a star. But he's a young arm. Look at what Grayson Rodriguez went through.
20.
He's better than that. But I do think that they're going to get to him a little bit. Also, remember, this bullpen's been a little bit taxed of late. I know they got a bit of a day off yesterday, but even then, like Hoeing could only go so many innings. So even in the blowout, they had to go to the bullpen for a long time. They're not stretching Yuri out. You know that. He's on an innings limit. He doesn't go past 90 pitches.
4 innings? Really. 4 innings, maybe? 5?
4 or 5 at best. He's praying for 6 if he's efficient, but they're gonna make him throw. So I feel like Kikuchi can keep the ball in the yard. That's the trouble for him, but the Marlins don't hit a ton of home runs, and especially at home. I think this is an easy value play at even odds for the Toronto Blue Jays that are the better team, and a rookie arm that I think is going to come down to earth a little bit, at least in one of these starts against a good lineup.
Good stuff, my man. So we're doing a community prize picks entry. We're doing a 6-man for the people. Dinger Tuesday. Was there any player when you looked into the slate today that you were thinking about?
Ooh, that's a good one. You're going to laugh, but I really like Alex Kirilloff. Looking at the Twins lineup, I like the way, if he's in the lineup, I know they haven't started him every day. I think they should. I love this matchup for him. He's been great against things that on him. He's been good against cutters. I think this is a good opportunity for him to go deep. I like Kirilloff in this one if he gets the start.
Okay. Alex Kirilloff, 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs.
Sign me up.
The problem is he's going to have to get 2 hits because there's not going to be any runners on because the Twins suck.
That's my play.
No, I love him, my man.
Take an under on Lynch, Daniel Lynch. I don't know. Over on something bad.
The problem is his props are like 16.5 pitching outs, like 4-5K. Like, I don't know. What would
under
we take?
Fantasy score? Can we take that?
He doesn't have one. He doesn't have one.
I would take it. I would fade Yuri if there's something in the prize picks play too. I would, and it hurts me. I love Yuri, but I'd consider it.
Yuri only has a 5 strikeouts lineup. That's it. He's landing on 5.
Something. It's telling you something.
It is telling you something.
I just feel like what do we got here? Yeah, I don't think he strikes out more than 5, but I don't love that play as much.
Yeah, I like the Kirilloff play. Let's roll with that one as your entry for the people to vote on.
Let's do it. Love it.
All right, my man.
Shout out prize picks.
Shout out.
Thank you, everybody.
Picks.
See ya.
Talk to you soon, dude. Keep killing it.
In London. Thank you. You too.
Appreciate you. Okay, we don't got anybody in queue right now. Who's up next, though? Who's supposed to be up next? Mid-major's up next. First half over 4.5. Putting money on the Jays is wild. Putting money on Kikuchi is wild. Yeah, you guys want to do Ben cooked up another video for us. Let's watch this thing.
Fastball hit to left. It is long gone.
Cy Young, man. Congratulations on everything. I appreciate it.
How about the Phillies? That was electric, though. We got to give Ben credit. It's actually a great video. It's a great video. I love it. I love when Ben does that. Like, I wish it wasn't a play on my side. So, of course, for the stream, I have to say shit ain't hidden just because I'm on the Phillies, but you never know. I mean, Phillies, Braves. What's the line right now? Good video. Have to pay it. TCU tonight? No, they aren't they already beating Oral Roberts? Also, can I get some W's in the chats for these college baseball futures? We just lost Virginia, we just lost Stanford, so no W's for that. But we're still sitting on our Wake ticket, we're sitting on our Florida ticket, and we're sitting on our LSU ticket. Why not us? Where's Lid Lager? Producer Cone? Where the hell is he? Here, why don't we pull up some ballpark pal stuff in the are you on the Braves just baseball fans? I am on the Phillies. I'm on the Phillies money line. So this is what we got on the model right now. Right? So again, I say this all the time. Away team, generally, you're going to see them have a little bit of a higher run projection because they get all 9 innings to hit no matter what. They think it should be closer to a pick 'em. I couldn't agree more. I got the Phillies on the ML, plus 120. They think it's minus 101. I agree. Who knows? You know, it is showing some good value on the over. But I know that I think Krabs, he was pitching the under. I know, I don't think it's on stream, but I remember him talking about it, how he really likes it. I just like Ranger to pitch really well. So I could see it going under realistically because I don't think Strider's going to get destroyed. But we got somebody in queue. Who's in queue right now? Degen, should we just go to Degen and Lid Lager can kind of suck it a little bit? Mr. Degen, it's been a little while. How are you, my friend?
It has been a while. I apologize. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great. I love the hat.
Thank you very much. I was back in the middle of making my move from Florida back to New York. So I'm here, and I was a little busy last week. But I'm ready to roll. I've still been obviously wagering on baseball, following baseball, finding a little bit of a groove.
Okay.
So I saw the leaderboard. I'm now in 5th. I think you're right ahead of me.
Yep. Right ahead of you.
Units,
yeah, but like, I got 6th place today. Anything can happen. I could be at the top by the end of it, or I could be. I could have a.
That's
real
true. You know, I would say I like the new Peter. I don't think anybody who is as wise as you in the sport, and I think you're a very good sports bettor, should limit yourself. I think anywhere you find an edge, you should play it, but at the same time, don't force anything. But yeah, you'll be fine. Everybody goes through rough patches, brother.
Shit happens. Just to answer that question too. Yeah, what I was doing is when I get on a losing streak, my brain gets so conservative. Like if I'm losing, it's like, all right, I have to narrow in on a play to get me back, and then I start going, and I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing, Degen? Just a bad mentality to have. It's gonna force losers.
You want my
you know what I do? Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go first.
No, what I was gonna say is that like when everything matches up, how well does that often happen, Degen? In Canada?
Yeah, I get uncomfortable when I like to play too much.
Yep. So that's what I'm doing.
Yep. I would say just lean in. Don't change your style. I would say just lean into what works because you're versatile. I'm fairly versatile. That's one thing last year I remember as I had a lot of success early in the season, late in the season. I can tell you when I started to change is when those plays that I like to typically play is when they started hitting, and then I started taking the opposite sides. And I don't know if you remember, I think it was Ohtani pitching for the Angels against the Mariners, and the Mariners went from like plus 120 to minus 120. They went dog to fave, and I was like, nope, fake sharp. And then it was like the Dodgers in Milwaukee, and it was like Corbin Burns. They went from dog to fave, but it was, the Dodgers. And I started playing the square plays, and that's when the contrarian plays were hitting, and I just couldn't figure it out. So, you'll be fine. I like some of the plays that you're on tonight.
Any plays that you hate? Just curious. Was there any play that you looked at and you're like, oh, that's the loser?
I wouldn't say it's a loser. I am concerned given how bad Spencer Strider's been that I would say that the Phillies scare me a little bit. Only because they're plus money at home, and I find myself getting duped occasionally in this, and I don't take into consideration, okay, I have to remember Strider, the Braves have been good, but Strider has not been good, and he is still I think the line is correct. I don't think it's off, and he is a favorite on the road against a team who is 8-2 in their last 10 as well, and against a pitcher who's been pitching lights out. So that's the one spot I would have a little apprehension. I like the under, though. I think both teams pitch well. I think the Braves maybe get out to a lead, and then maybe the Phillies come back. I don't know. That's the only one I'm nervous about.
What I will say is, though, the Braves, have you seen their series against Colorado? They obliterated the Rockies. I think they put up like 10 runs in like 3 straight games. Then, I like to fade them when they're coming off a series against Colorado, and they're the best team in baseball against lefties. And now they're kind of short favorites. Don't you expect like everyone in the country to have Strider and the Braves? Like everyone's expecting him to bounce back. That's how I read it. But again,
no, you're so right. And there's people on Twitter, and this is not a personal insult, but we all probably follow Mikey Overs, and he tweeted that the Braves are a nuke tonight. And so when you see things like this, that is one of the reasons I am not personally on the Braves. And so that is where if I had to, gun to my head, I'd probably go with the Phillies. So yes, you're right. It's still, but you have to remember though, baseball gets chalky, man. And so
anything can happen.
Anything can happen. I like the Pirates though. I think the Pirates, I'm not on it, but I like that play a lot. I like the fade of Stroman. I actually kind of like the over. I like the Pirates bats today. So probably one of my favorite plays that I saw that you're on.
Hell yeah.
How much time do I have, by the way? I know you got me up here early, so I figured I'd ramble a bit.
Say it again. 8 minutes.
Beautiful. Okay. Did you guys put up one of my plays on the board yet? I'm pulling them up. If not,
Dodgers.
Yeah. So this is one of those plays I feel like, listen, I don't have a lot of success when I pull up to the squares table. Obviously when I'm playing a big name team like the Dodgers, the Braves, etc., it typically doesn't go well, but I'm using my baseball brain here a little bit, and also a bit of a trend. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, did both teams have the day off?
Yes.
So I got this stat from Josh Applebaum, who's a guy that I follow on VSiN, and there's a trend. I remember this last year too, but when both teams have the day off, the favorite is winning, I think, around 65% of the time.
Wow.
And there are a few teams. Now, I'm not the kind of guy that blindly goes and bets on trends, but I also have learned
helps your case. It'll point you towards something, and then you do more research into it.
Yep. So one thing that I recall, and I don't watch a ton of baseball, but I watch some baseball, and I just tell myself, this guy's got it. And one example of that is my guy, Shane McClanahan. I bet on him to win the Cy Young, very late to the party, but I think he's dialed this year. Clayton Kershaw, in my opinion, has looked very good from the games that I've watched him pitch, even though he's getting older. Now, I know the stats would say that on the road, things are a little bit different. And again, correct me if I'm wrong with any of this because you're the baseball brain guy. But I believe his last start on the road was in Cincinnati, and I think he pitched an absolute gem against what we're now seeing is a really good Reds lineup. I don't think that was a fluke. I think that this is a really good Clayton Kershaw. I think that he found a little bit of that rhythm and mojo on the road after that start. And I think this is a big game for the Dodgers. And on paper, the Dodgers or the Angels, I think your average person the majority of the public is going to side with the Dodgers. But again, you take in the recency of these teams. I think the Angels have been the bit hotter team.
Oh,
right?
yeah. The reason I didn't take the Angels today, I felt like I was buying high on Angel stock and like selling Dodger stock at like a very low price. And I was like, I like the Angels. I think it's because I know a lot of people are going to be on the Dodgers, but I was like, is this the spot? It might be. I don't know.
Well, you said it best. Those are the times where I find myself getting burned. And I know guys that I like and respect. I think Javon and Krabs are both on the Angels. Makes me a little uncomfortable, but they're full game. I'm first 5. We can both win. I agree with you entirely. I do think that this is that you're buying the Angels at their highest and the Dodgers are at their lowest after an embarrassing home series against the Giants. So I like this spot. I think it's I don't think there's anything too fishy or off with the line. It doesn't feel like a duping. Is it a guaranteed winner? Absolutely not. But I like it enough. I feel comfortable making it one of my plays tonight.
Good stuff. Play number 2.
Yeah, I'll just go with whatever you guys throw up on the board. So feel free. Oh,
Cincinnati,
man.
Colorado.
And I'm so bummed. And I love BetMGM. Don't get me wrong. It's the only damn book with 10.5. I personally got it at 10 minus 112, I believe, but that doesn't matter. Still play it at 10.5. I think we see runs tonight. And I talk about this all the time. And I'm not bringing up a loser, to rub your face in it, but not you, but maybe somebody on the stream had that over in Cincinnati last night, right? And it looked like it was going there with ease.
Ben and Colby.
Over 9.5. Ben and
or
Cody.
Tomas,
So what
maybe.
happened? Sure. You get burned game 1 of the series. Then the next game, the read is there, in my opinion. Line's on the rise. But whoever bet it the night before doesn't want to go back to it because they just got burned. I love these spots with totals. And that's truly it. As silly as it sounds, man, it's more of an experience thing. I know Ben Lively is pitching pretty well. The Reds are one of, if not the hottest team in baseball. I watched a little bit of that game last night. It feels like, I'm not saying the stadium is packed, but it feels like playoff baseball atmosphere there. But I think the Rockies bats get going a little bit too. So I'm on personally on Ryan McMahon. I think Devon likes Nolan Jones to hit home run. I think we get runs from, I think we get runs from both sides. And this is actually one I like playing alt overs as well. I don't know if you do too occasionally. But I would alt this thing up on FanDuel to like 13 or 14 runs at a nice plus price.
Wow. I mean, it is our friends at BetMGM are hanging at 10 at minus 110, by the way.
Oh, it's back down.
It's back down to 10.
All right.
We'll see what happens.
Thank you, BetMGM, our friends. Very nice of you. I guess I can't adjust my play, but that's all right. I'm comfortable enough that I think it's going to soar over that. Last play for me. St. Louis first 5. POP. Here's another one. I don't like this that I'm playing 2 favorites, and I feel like they're semi-square in the Dodgers and the Cardinals on the road against, inferior teams, I guess. But I'm using my baseball brain and my sports brain from what I saw. I did get eyes on the Cardinals. I think it was Saturday night when they beat the Mets, and I watched them do, the handshakes. There was a huge sigh of relief from a lot of those guys lining up to shake hands with each other. And then I thought that game on Sunday was a really big win for them to come out and repeat that. And then they came back yesterday, and I actually played the Cardinals on the first 5 against the Nats. They were down 5-0. They came back and won at 6-5. I called that the Peter Rappel special because I swear since I've been following you, usually get those bounces your way. So I felt like this is what it's like, a day in the life. So that was nice. And I'm telling you, I don't want to get greedy because I've won a few units on the Cardinals in the last few days, but I also have to go with my gut, what I've seen. I think this is a team that maybe not pitching wise because Flaherty sure as hell didn't look good. I know Montgomery isn't good, but I think this offense and these bats are finding some confidence. And I know Mackenzie Gore is honestly like way more popular and trendier than I could have ever imagined going into the season. And the Nationals at a plus price against what your average person is going to perceive the St. Louis Cardinals still being a pretty shitty team. And a pitcher who I think is 1-11 in his last 12 starts, or is it 12 road starts? It's a really bad trend. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's worked for me.
Again, I don't use me as the fact checker. You're the fact checker here, or maybe producer Cohen is. But it's not good. Look at this Budman, what he just said. Montgomery is our NL Lyles. Cards 3-11, the games he started this season. Lots of plus money as well. So I'm just going back to it, man. I think that this is a team where, you fast forward 10 games. I think they're going to win 7 or 8 of them. And so sometimes don't even read too much into the lines. I just treat it like stocks. Sometimes they go down. Sometimes they go up. I think the Cardinals stock is going up, and I'm going to just blindly ride that until it burns me. So that's why I'm on the Cardinals.
Well, I hope we both win. I'm on the Nationals full game money line, and I'm on the over 8.5. And the reason being is I agree with you with the Cardinals bats. I think they show up today. I just think the Nats bats show up a little bit more. I'm looking at like a 5-4 type game. But those are your 3 picks, right?
Those are my 3, and I completely agree with you. I was so close to playing just the Cardinals team total, but I think I'm 0-3, maybe 0-4 on team totals on this show. So I've taken a hiatus from team totals. So hopefully that doesn't burn me. I agree. I'm really just bent on the Cardinals offense here, and I don't want anything to do with that bullpen.
Any prize pick entry that you were looking at? Any squares that you want in the community?
Yeah, I don't necessarily know that you're going to like it. I like Spencer Strider strikeouts. It's a lot of strikeouts. 9 strikeouts seems a little high to me, again, with how bad he's pitching. Or you could put Ryan McMahon fantasy score in there. I think 7.5. Like I said, I mean, I like the Rockies bats, and I'm not necessarily saying they're going to win, but I think this is like I don't know, 8-6 kind of game, and that's my pick.
I'm putting Ryan McMahon's over fantasy in for you.
Okay, and for what it's worth, I've bet on Ryan McMahon twice. I think actually your guy Cam His Money turned me on to Ryan McMahon. He's 2-0 since I've bet him, so he might be my guy.
Good stuff, my man. We got to move on, but again, Love having you on. You're welcome all the time. Keep giving out winners, my friend.
I'll be here much more often. Take care, Pete. Good luck.
Oh yeah, talk to you. Mid-major's got 4 minutes. Let's get to him quick. Mid-major, no messing around. Let's hear it.
DJen took my spot, and he took a minute of my time. Fucking producer Cohen. I'm the only one that likes you, but god damn it, man.
Sorry you took 10 minutes to get on here, but whatever. We're good.
Anyways, what's my first play, producer Cohen? Stop fucking around.
Boston, Minnesota, first 5 under 4.5. Why isn't this hitting?
It's the same. Why? Yeah. I mean, Cutter Crawford, I like his matchup today. Bear, I think he pitches what everyone expects Pablo Lopez to pitch like yesterday. I like his matchup. I think the day after the travel, after winning big on the road, after the doubleheader that we all talked about yesterday for Boston, I think this is the day they slow down. Pablo Lopez looked awful yesterday. There's no doubt about it. It just
sweating so much.
Yeah. But Obear, I don't think he has a lot better stats against the right-handed bats and the left-handed bats than Pablo Lopez does. So I don't think he struggles as much. 5 is a lot. I think I like Cutter Crawford to pitch pretty well today. I don't like the bats technically, but I like them both to pitch well. We were 1 out away from going under 4.5 yesterday, but I'll try it again today. I like the matchup.
Good stuff, my man. Shout out to Jen for gifting all those subs. I mean, what an absolute stud. And then shout out Grandpa Berg for the sub. You guys are goats. Lid Lager, back to you. Pirates plus 1.5. I love it. So
yesterday, I shit the bed, been jumping on the Barrios train. Today, why not do anything else other than fade Stroman, the NL Cy Young odds favorite? But Peter, you know it. I mean, outside of baseball brain, the line looks really fucking funny, man.
Really funny. And
now you're telling me it's I've seen it now at minus 125 after they got shut out 8-0. After the same matchup, the Cubs kicked the shit out of the Pirates in Chicago. It's really fucking funny. At the same time,
money line too. I just took the money line. I wasn't soft at the plus 1.5. Kind of soft, but we'll take it.
I'm working overtime now on my job because the way my bets are going. So I have to be soft for the moment. But I'm happy for you that you can live in the lavish lifestyle of New York. I cannot afford it. I have to live in shitty San Jose. Anyways,
good barbecue in San Jose, low key.
A lot of good Mexican food.
Yeah,
as well.
Good food there.
Absolutely. There's a reason I got my stomach going in the summer. I don't have my bikini body yet. Anyways, what's also pretty telling to me, Prize Picks is a very smart app. They're very intelligent with what they put up. Yep. Last week in the same exact matchup, Jovan Oviedo had a 30.5 fantasy score. You know what it is today, Peter? 30.5 still. 30.5. After he gave up, I think, 7 earned runs, after he was pitching pretty well, and he just happened to blow up in the bottom of the 5th. I like him to pitch well today. At the same time, Peter, the Cubs, they have a 100 WRC plus, over 800 OPS at home against right-handed pitchers. On the road in this month, they've seen three road series, so there's some decent sample size. 49 WRC plus, 525 OPS. So I think that the Oviedo blow up that happened in the bottom of the 5th, I don't think it happens today. And Stroman, I don't know if he pitches terribly, but that Cubs bullpen I do not like whatsoever, and I'll be soft, and I'll take the 1.5 and the Pirates today. I do like the money line as well, but I'm soft.
One more pick? It's
the Athletics. They had their hype. They won their 9-game win streak. They're back to fucking sucking. They haven't scored 4 runs in over, I think it's like 7 games straight after beating the Rays, the best team in the world ever. But I like Savali to come back to earth. I like him to pitch better than what he did last start. I think the A's are still kind of on people's radars. Their offense is kind of sexy. The team is kind of sexy. I think going to Cleveland in that shitty ballpark with that shitty weather with Savali going back home after he just got blown up. I think he pitches really well today. And the Guardians' better arms have not pitched a lot of late. So if he doesn't pitch extremely well, they have a lot of. I like what's behind him for the A's just to shit the bed, as they've done for the past 3 months.
So I know you got to get out of here, but why is Marcus Stroman under fantasy your Prize Picks entry?
No, it's not. So if I had to pick one, I do like it though. But the movement from 26.5 to 30.5 makes sense to what it is from last week. Oviedo does not make sense, which is why if I was to take a fantasy score, it would be as over, because I do like the strikeouts as well. It's either Oviedo's fantasy score, but it's also Garrett Cole's Ks. I know it's square, but a 98-mile-per-hour four-seam with the grade that it does is much different than Lance Lynn's 93-mile two-seamer, and that 92-mile-per-hour changeup is much different than Lance Lynn's 86-mile-per-hour changeup, where he just struck out 16. It's the Mariners, it's square, but they just struck out 16 times, and they did not look competitive at all against Lance Lynn. What's going to change? They're going on the road now in Garrett Cole's home stadium. It's what he knows best. He may get hit hard, but if he doesn't get hits, he's going to get a lot of whiffs. So it's either his over strikeouts or his fantasy score for Oviedo.
I love it. I put in Garrett Cole K's. I mean, I'm down to put Yohan Oviedo to vote on it, but mid-major, I know you got a dip. Appreciate you, my friend. Keep killing it. All right.
Bye, producer Cohen. I love you.
Love you.
Okay, who we got up next in queue? Gino from Bet Openly. Gino, you know I love breaking down the slate with you. There's no doubt about it. But we just got to have a little bit of tempo and pace because we got people in queue. Let's just get straight to the place.
Done.
Let's start half unit because I know you like to do half unit, 1 unit.
I just don't know if that's any way to talk to your champ, but it's okay.
That's actually a good point. Flash the leaderboard, please. No, flash the leaderboard. Let's give Gino a shine here. Number one, the only reason that I'm not giving you, I mean, we got what, 16-9? You know, to win the competition, we need 100 plays from you this season.
That's easy. But the season?
The season.
Yeah, I'm giving what, like 7 today?
Pretty much, yeah. All I'm saying is we got to get more picks.
I appreciate that. I'll commit to 10 a week. 5 a show. We'll do 10 a week. We'll keep it low key.
I like that. I like that a lot. Let's start with a half unit play.
Super boring. Colorado money line plus 175. That game, I had a money line yesterday. No show, but you missed a loss, so no big deal there. I have these teams way closer to even than this line and odds. I get that Cincinnati is on an absolute freight train in the right direction. I just have this one priced at 143, I think it was. So you give me that much. That's the only way I'll get in front of the freight train that is Cincinnati. Even if it was 160, I'd walk away just because of how hot since he's been. They're playing loose. Votto was even getting in on the action. It was great to see. But we'll plow through.
Let's keep going. Another half unit play. We got the Mets.
Yeah, this one's actually surprising to me how many people are jumping on Verlander. I guess maybe the older money like my age is still out there. The Mets to me in this game should be plus 120. The more guys I listen to on this show talk before me, the dumber I feel. I'm happy sitting at the top.
But you're number one.
I'm happy, but y'all know ball. Like, you guys know ball. I don't even think I could go to a dinner. I think I'd just start drinking because if you guys would ask me a question, I'd be like, oh, sorry, mouthful of tequila. Because y'all know, like, data, ball, stats, situations, whip. I don't even know half the acronyms you use these days. But Mets plus 120, anything over is EV positive officially.
Phenomenal. I think the reason people are jumping on Verlander, you got the narrative returning to Houston. I played the over 7.5 in this game. And the reason being is I think the Astros have the revenge. Verlander just left and got his money and got a championship and left. I think the Astros lost 11-1 yesterday. I think their bats come out hot. I think the Mets do enough to get to Framber. So I think it's going to be like one of those really close games where kind of anyone can win, and you're on the dog. So I can see it.
And for anyone out there, if you're ever on both sides or think it's going to be a close game or a shootout, that's where I go dog.
Fair enough. All right. Another half unit play. Baltimore, Tampa Bay under 7.5.
Yeah, I lost a half a unit of value here. This one actually opened at 8 and tickets came in on the over and I sat tight thinking I was going to get a half a point. And then the sharps came in on the under and I went and took. So I have this as an over under 7, half a run for free. It's that simple. These two pitchers should not be anywhere over 7 from what I've seen and every piece of data.
Fair enough. All right. Let's get to the Rangers. Yeah, this team to me
is one of the ones I haven't figured out this whole year. But again, just sticking with the EV positive, I had this game at 141, I want to say, giving me 13 points of value here. This is just an EV day across the board.
Fair enough. Anything against Dylan Cease? You don't like him?
No, I don't have anything against him. Everything that I saw, when I literally looked at the pitcher versus pitcher, home versus away, their last 10 days, like the main things I check, I had this at 142. And I make my own lines and odds. I don't know if people know that. So when I make those lines and odds, the first thing I do is when I was right or wrong. And I gravitate toward that. And there were a couple other daily fantasy players that I have on the over for Texas and the under for the opponent. So those are like what I do to move something from a half a unit to a unit, a couple crossing systems.
Also, the Rangers are minus 160 right now.
Oh, okay. So there you go. There's my CLV.
There's your CLV. So again, going to ask you, worth it at all?
I'd cut it to a half.
Half.
Yeah. Just because everything I saw about what the original bets came in was the home team was actually getting some tickets, but the Sharps came in and pounded this. I didn't know they'd pounded that freaking heavy. This might be the largest line movement of the day.
It's one of them.
But yeah, I still have a half a unit. I think Texas Rangers win this game. I think it's a nice, maybe if you want to be a little greedy, the 1.5 might be a little sexier at this point. I almost did that originally, but I had the original line mispriced so much that I couldn't get greedy.
Fair enough. Well, let's keep going. We got Mariners for 1.5 units against the Yankees.
This to me, this is your boy. I'm sorry, man. I feel like I'm
I'm in a group chat and stuff, and I texted my guys. I was like, hey, I obviously don't know shit, I guess, even though I watch them every day, about betting on the Yankees versus the Mariners. And I was like, you guys want a free winner? Take the Mariners tomorrow.
Yeah, and this line is held pretty well. The Yankees are going to absolutely slaughter the public. I saw as high as 68% of tickets on the Yankees, and it went from plus 115 to minus 105. This checks the reverse line movement, fading the public. I like this Seattle team so much more than this Yankee team.
Me too.
Just across the board.
We suck.
Going back to the original, one of my original shows of the original year, I said, please, if you want to make a lot of money, people bet Seattle this year. They took the lid off of the playoffs last year. They're young and they're talented. This is a good baseball team.
I agree. I'm on them to win the World Series. I still got my ticket.
Oh, that's insane. So I respect that a lot.
Yeah, I took them. Well, I got them meeting up against the Braves in the World Series. Those are my two, American League and National League.
Are my Marlins getting on your radar at all? That kid is a stud.
Oh, Yuri's a stud.
What?
I mean, the Marlins, they're kind of on my radar.
Right? They're winning games. They play traditional baseball. They don't score a lot, but they score efficiently when they get a guy on base.
That's a good point. Anything else that you got, Gina? You got one more. You got D-backs money line.
D-backs here. So this is I don't go that bold this often, but sometimes I do. I think the wrong team's favored here. I think the wrong team is favored here. Again, guys, by me not coming on yesterday, you missed some loss. I think I made 4 units yesterday, but you avoided some losses I would have gave on this show. We had Milwaukee minus 1.5 or 2.5 yesterday, and they got smoked. It was like plus 400. It was stupid. But I don't get married to teams. I had Milwaukee yesterday. I have Arizona today. Maybe Milwaukee comes and does the opposite, but I have Arizona as should be favored in this game.
Fair enough, my friend. Just keep killing it. Number 1 on the leaderboard for a reason. People say, oh, how does he make his own lines? Dude's up units. It is what it is.
And what I would say too, I don't know if you want some prop plays. I know you guys.
Oh yeah. What's your favorite one? Just give me your favorite.
Either Uvalde or Cutter, depending on what you want to do. Both on the over Ks, and then
we'll write both down and let people vote.
Yeah, whichever one they'll want. I would say I like Crawford better.
Let's do that one then.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm showing 4.5 at minus 135 or 6. Excuse me, 4.5 Ks at minus 135 or 6 plus. You win at 6 at plus 140.
So we got a 5K on Prize Picks. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Sweet, Gino. Again, appreciate you coming on. We're going to move on. We got more people in queue, but keep on killing, my friend. Number 1 on the leaderboard for a reason. Talk to you soon. All right, my friend?
Later, brother.
Peace, dog. Okay. Crabs.
Can we not flash that leaderboard up? Can we go ahead and keep that away?
Producer Cohen, definitely don't flash the leaderboard right now. Oh, no. Why'd you do that?
I bet. Yep. Down there in last place. It is what it is.
It is what it is. But what I will say is, though, kind of what I was talking about, Tomas. You, my friend, have been on a heater.
100%. I'm hitting bets. I'm up on MLB for the season, but I'm terribly down bad in this challenge.
Look, I told you what you shouldn't do. Like, you're throwing 3 units on one plate. Like, play your card.
Dude, maybe I should, but at this point, I think I'm in too deep. I gotta just 3 unit Megalodon whale out of it.
It's June 20th. You can just play your card and you're winning, but instead you're
it's
like,
too late.
Choose one
we got
play,
it. We have to Megalodon our way out of it. It's the only way.
Okay.
It's the only way, Pete.
You need 100 plays to get on stream anyway. To get in the competition.
I'm gonna get 100 plays. I'm gonna get 1,000 plays.
Okay.
I'm gonna start doing 3 unit whales. How about that?
So why are the Padres taking down the hottest team in baseball?
Yeah, let's cut the shit. Let's talk about the Padres. And also, let's give credit to the Giants. I mean, everyone's talking about the fucking Reds being the best team ever right now, and they deserve it. But the Giants have also won 8 games in a row.
Yes, they
One
have.
game behind the Reds. They're playing great. Their bullpen's electric. They're hitting the ball out of nowhere now. I think they called up a prospect or two. It's been helping them. But they're losing today. Let me tell you why. Because this line is ridiculous. Minus 115 against a team on an 8-game win streak. The Padres have really done nothing to prove that they should be a favorite here. And they've got freaking Lugo coming off the IL, hasn't pitched in over a month from a calf injury, making his first start. This is just crazy. DeSclafani, I know he's been sketchy recently and stuff. He's been walking people way more. I think that's going to help the Padres today, obviously. But he has a way better arm than our guy, Seth Lugo here, who hasn't even pitched in a month, Pete. Yeah. I don't understand this line. I love that the public is all over the Giants here, obviously, because they're won 8 games in a row. I don't blame them. But if they weren't a favorite here in the spot, I wouldn't be taking it. But I have to take the Padres here on the road, on the ML, with Lugo in there. Look, he'll give us 4 innings, hopefully, maybe 5. And that bullpen's been top 10 in baseball over the last 30 days. I feel good with the Padres bullpen getting the ball late and closing this thing down.
I'm surprised this is the stinkiest line that you saw, because I know that's your MO and you've been good
it's
this
not
year.
The stinkiest line I saw today. I'm not betting the Pirates. I can't. I can't do it. That's probably the stinkiest line of the day. I do think they win, but I'm not doing it. But, like, I've had a lot more success this year not betting the Royals, not betting the Pirates as much, not betting the Nats, right? I think there's a correlation. So I'm going to stick to the script and not bet the dog shit teams and pick the less dog shit teams like the Padres. You know what I mean?
They're less dog shit. They're kind of
definitely
dog
less
shit,
dog
though.
shit. No, they are. They are. They have a World Series roster, but they're dog shit. A little bit, kind of. Not fully, though. Not fully.
Any prize pick squares? Because, of course, this is just a 3 in a Megalodon, Baby Beluga, all the different graphics.
We can move on from that. Easy, simple, effective.
What's your favorite square on the board for the people?
I love the Crawford square that was just talked about, by the way. I co-sign that. But my favorite square to give the people, if you guys are not hip to Lane Thomas yet in chat, I don't know what to tell you. This guy is a run-scoring machine. He scores damn near every night for us. They showed a graphic on Masson last night. He's about to pass Bryce Harper for most percentage of runs scored for a team in Nats history this year.
Wow.
He's scoring like 25% of our runs this year. It's nuts. Recently, he's been on a tear. He's hitting almost 400 over his last 7 games. The last month and a half, he's been just cracked out defensively as well. He's just a great fucking ball player right now. And since May 1st, they played 43 games. He's scored in 34 of them. They keep putting him up on prize picks. He's a greened out gob. I typically don't take bets like this, but I don't care. If we're scoring runs, it's going to be Lane. No one else is scoring. He's getting it done, and he's red hot right now. Got to keep taking.
Lane Thomas over a run locked in from the Crabinator.
Lane Thomas revenge game.
Lane Thomas revenge game. People aren't talking about that right now.
People are not talking. He balled out last night against his old team who let him go for a empty bag of chips, John Lester. I think he remembers that, and he's playing like it.
I like it, my friend. Hey, you won't be in the gutter for long if you keep nuking.
No.
I mean, it could get even worse. Or
I hit 4 or 5 of these. I'm back in the green.
Back in the green.
Just like that.
But what I will say is start playing your full card because you're winning other bets.
Maybe I'll just start nuking all the plays.
Okay.
Every single one.
All right. I'll talk to you, my friend. Good stuff. Okay, we got Ollie 1 unit.
Yeah, some studs there before me. Krabs with the absolute dynamite Snakes hat. You see that thing?
He's got an elite hat game.
He comes blinged out.
Yeah.
I don't care for the play much, but Hey, it is what it is. I am proud of myself for not coming on fading the Cubs today, and I know, and I'm very proud of Krabs for doing the same thing. He is resisting the stinkiest line of the day by far. I am as well. I was on the Pirates yesterday. They got a bit unlucky with a random monsoon in the second inning that caused some runs, and the Cubs dinked and doinked their way. But man, oh man, if you're on the Pirates today, good fucking luck, because I am done with that matchup. The Cubs versus the Pirates, I'm out. I'm done. Good luck.
That's why I like it. Nobody's going back to the Pirates today.
Yeah, you're going to see why.
Yeah, right. Well,
you're going to see why.
Let's talk about play number one for only 1 unit.
All right, what's the first one?
What do we got? We got Arizona, Milwaukee over 9.
Yes. Runs out there in Wisconsin, right?
Ooh, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Right, that's correct.
Yeah, see, geography is all right. At the end of the day, I watched Colin Ray last time out, or 2 starts ago. I can't remember, whichever one was against the Orioles. This guy just throws 93, and he doesn't know where it goes. It goes over the heart of the plate a lot. And I don't know how he didn't let up 17 runs to the Orioles, but I just don't think he's a good pitcher. And who's one of the hottest hitting teams in Major League Baseball? Your Arizona Diamondbacks, led by sneaky MVP Corbin Carroll and company. So I like them to get runs on themselves. And on the other side, Ryan Nelson, sorry, bud, the numbers just aren't in your favor here early on in the season. And the Brewers, don't get me wrong, piss poor offensive team versus lefties or righties. But if they're going to get something going, it's going to be against Ryan Nelson and very mediocre Snakes bullpen. Especially after yesterday just getting flat out embarrassed on Corbin Burns Day. I think they come out hot and aggressive early, attack mode, instead of being just patient little, whatever you want to call them, just rowdy, get going, Yelich, get going. Like, got to get these guys going, get them aggressive. When Yelich is aggressive, I think is when he's at his best, and he's got a very good matchup today to be aggressive. So I just like runs all 9 innings here.
Good stuff, my friend. Okay, play number 2.
Play number 2 over in Kansas City. I played this yesterday. Might have got a little lucky with a Kerry Carpenter home run late in the game, but I'm going back to it today. I think Daniel Lynch is a really, really bad matchup for the Tigers bats, because we all, I think, know by now the secret is out. The Tigers like hitting left-handed pitching, and after a little lull there they had a little stretch where they were struggling, but they've gotten back even without Riley Green, who was really, when Riley Green went down is when they started struggling against lefties again, because he's weirdly enough a guy that hits just as good against lefties as righties. And when he went down, they struggled a little bit, but they've gotten their groove back. They're hitting lefties well again. And Daniel Lynch, bud, sorry, he's just not that guy. He's not good. I like runs. And on the other side, I know Michael Lorenzen has been like a sneaky, solid pitcher for the Tigers this year, and I like Michael Lorenzen, probably the best up there for the best biceps in Major League Baseball. Dude is just yoked out of his mind. It's crazy. But
former outfielder Michael Lorenzen.
Yeah, former right fielder. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. People are calling him the real Shohei Ohtani.
People are
the true unicorn.
The truth.
But he did pitch against the Royals earlier this year, and it didn't go too well. Lit up 3 home runs in that game. So I think we see kind of similar. The Royals are kind of, I think if the Royals are going to score in back-to-back games, it's going to be against a guy that they've scored runs already against this year. I don't think either bullpen is very good. And at the end of the day, I just like runs really throughout the whole game here.
Good stuff. I mean, like, I'm on the Tigers team total over because I was like, what's Lorenzen going to give us?
Right.
And I'm like, I just think the Tigers are going to score. Could be the square angle. Who knows? Maybe the Royals put up 9 and you're in the money and I'm looking like an idiot.
Well, I'm with you. Like, I was a little hesitant because I'm just like, are the Royals going to score 4 in back-to-back games? Like, that seems like an anomaly.
Yeah.
Like, is that actually going to happen? I need 3 from the Royals today, I think, for this to hit. And against a guy that they've seen this year and had success again, I felt comfortable enough to take just the over instead of getting cute with the first 5 or team total.
Good stuff, my man. So we have one more play?
Yeah. I know you're on this.
When I saw you submitted this one, I don't hate it. I'm just curious. I'm very excited to hear the pitch.
Yeah, so I was on this over yesterday, and it was before the stream came on, obviously, so it wasn't able to go. But
Gosh,
it hit in the
so
fifth
easy.
inning. The full game over cash in the fifth inning was very easy. I'm sorry, but the Cardinals just look lost against left-handed pitching lately.
Yeah.
They've been very average this year against left-handed pitching, just a 100 WRC plus. But the last 14 days, and the sample size isn't necessarily, it's a pretty small sample size over the last 2 weeks, only 50 plate appearances, but they're dead last at
Even
WRC
since June
plus.
began, 38 WRC plus.
And it's worse than that over the last 2 weeks, 24. Like, that's frightening. I'm a Mackenzie Gore guy. And then on the flip side, Jordan Montgomery, you never really know what you're going to get, and the Nationals do have that reputation that they do hit lefties well. It hasn't been as well lately. They've been pretty average here against left-handed pitching as of late. I'm not going to lie, the Lane Thomas run I am a fan of because that guy is a beast, and if the Nationals do damage, it's going to be at the top of that lineup with Lane Thomas and Dom Smith, and maybe Stone Garrett will run into one again if he's in the lineup. I don't know, but he usually plays against lefties. But all that being said, I think this is too high of a total. I know it's Nats Park and the ball's been flying out there lately, but I just think 4.5 at plus 100 was too good for me to pass up. I thought I was going to get 5 at like minus 110 with a total at 9, but I got 4.5 at plus 100. I have to take it. And I don't trust the Nationals bullpen, especially to hold on to a full game over here late. And the Cardinals bullpen has been a little bit better lately. Looks like Jordan Hicks might be finding a little groove, but I just don't trust the bats or the pens late to hold on to a full game. So I'm targeting the first 5.
Good stuff. I mean, yeah. And then we got it's so funny. Your prize picks entry is 2 that have already been submitted for the community. So Garrett Cole and Carter Crawford.
Yeah. And nobody really put any analysis into it, although I like the plays. Not Ben Major did with Garrett Cole. Probably one of the more square plays out there today, but I just think the most strikeout prone team in the leagues against one of the best strikeout pitchers in the league. Will he give up a bomb or two? Probably. Garrett Cole's been a little bit more susceptible to the long ball, and they've got guys that can run into one, like, Cal Raleigh, short porch, something like that. But the strikeouts, I think, will definitely be there. And at 8, I can see this being one of the Garrett Cole games where he goes 7, lets up 2 home runs, and strikes out 12, something like that. And then on the flip side, Carter Crawford, this was the first thing that I went to this morning. For some reason, the past couple weeks, I've had a knack at finding a Red Sox pitching prop that I like and targeting it.
And you've been killing it.
I'm going back to that. I've only missed one, and it's because Tanner Houck got hit in the face. So I hope he's doing better. He's seeing someone this week. But Carter Crawford, it might be a little sketchy because he's really only been going 5 innings, but the Twins last 2 weeks, first in the MLB in strikeout percentage against right-handed pitching. James Paxton got there yesterday. A little sweaty, but he did get there. And today, I like Carter Crawford. I know it's at 5 now. I'm still playing it at 5 if I don't have this entry in. I tweeted out this morning, if Carter Crawford's line does not move up at some point, I will be absolutely shocked. It ended up going up to 5 at Prize Picks, minus 141 to over 4.5 this morning on my book. It's just I got to take it. I like Carter Crawford a lot. He's a guy that is going to be on people's radar a lot here, I think. Coming up, he's been a stud ever since that.
All right, he hasn't been a stud.
He's been a stud.
He's been a stud for 2 innings. He'll get his strikeouts through 2 innings, and then he'll fall apart. I've been watching him.
No.
Yes,
You're
look at the
just a
game
hater.
logs. Look at the game logs.
Look at the expected stats. Look at
I
the
understand, and I'm waiting.
Red everywhere.
I'm waiting
yes,
for
he's
those
going to have
to
a
kick in.
hiccup, but look, 4.2 ERA, 3.2 xERA, everything is there. He almost leads the league in exit velocity. Like, dude misses barrels. He's
thrown like 30 innings this year.
Carter
I need to
Crawford
see him go 5 innings
stud.
of no runs. I need to see that. I've yet to see that. It's 3 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned, but like it's weak content. He's getting hit.
Not hard, though.
Whatever. All right, but I appreciate it. We got to move on to Colby. But Carter Crawford, I'll take his Ks, but if he doesn't hit, I'm going to be pissed.
It's going to hit today.
All right, fine. I'll take it.
It's definitely going to hit today.
I trust you, but I hate it.
The only way it doesn't hit, and obviously this is how it's not going to hit now. He only won 4 innings last time, so a little sketchy that they don't start him the full, but I think they're building him up as time goes on. They're building him back up to be a starter because they moved him to the bullpen.
All right, kick him off. We're done with Cutter Crawford. Thank you, Ollie.
You're going to come around. I know you're going to come around.
I'm not going to. I'll talk to you later. I'm taking it, but I'm not coming around. Good. I'm done with Cutter Crawford.
You ain't done with Cutter Crawford.
Damn it. All right, no mustache. And the Giants came back to win. Let's get into your place.
The Giants did come back to win. That was gross. Luis Garcia is a terrorist for that one. But Red Sox Twins first 5 under 5. Let's do it, Pete. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Why not? Cutter Crawford. We'll see. He's going to give up 9 runs in 4 innings.
What if I told you that Cutter Crawford has a 7.11 ERA as a starter this year?
Yeah, I'm not shocked. What are we talking about, Ollie? What are we talking about? Look at his X stats. Yeah, because he had like low quality of contact in April as a low leverage reliever.
And you know what? I really don't care because I think that the way that the Red Sox have used Cutter Crawford is he gets stretched out in long relief. So like he's starting games in the 4th inning sometimes. You know what I mean? Like he has a 1.66 ERA as a reliever this year, but he's not just pitching 1 inning in those relief appearances. He's usually pitching 3 to 4 anyway. So here we go, Pete. The reason I like Cutter Crawford today and the reason I like this under is, yes, 3.19 xERA on the year, 3.6 ERA. But this Twins offense,
yeah, they do suck.
Can't hit Cutter Crawford. They can't hit anybody. They couldn't hit Jordan Lyles. Like, I don't care who it is out there. They have a 652 OPS the last 14 days, a 30% K rate the last 14 days. If you go further than that, if you go 60 days, it's probably 30% K rate. This team strikes out like no other. And if they're not hitting home runs, which they aren't, they're susceptible to just putting up zeros. So I'm expecting Christian Vasquez to not hit a home run today.
You know who's a perfect pitcher to get the Twins bats back in gear? Cutter Crawford. I'm taking his strikeouts, and it's not going to hit. It might hit, but he's not going to pitch well.
It's going to hit. I think it's going to hit.
It might hit. I'm taking it.
And then you have Bailey Ober on the other side against actually a pretty hot Red Sox offense. They have around a 760 OPS the last 14 days. But Ober, the reason I like to trust him is that he's so consistent. He's given up more than 3 earned runs just once all season. I would expect him to go like 6 innings, 2 earned in this one. I wouldn't be surprised if this one is tied 2-2 after 5. So 5 gives me a lot of leeway here. And I think that this Twins offense is just so bad. They might not even put up a run in the first 5.
They will. It's the Red Sox who aren't going to score. Let's get.
I almost want to add Red Sox money line.
Let's get into play number 2. Clean shaven Colby Olson.
The Rangers at minus 130. I grabbed this morning. It's almost pointless to play this one right now, but actually, like, I almost still see value at minus 160. Like, they're gonna win. I legitimately think this isn't gonna be close. This game, I wouldn't even mind taking minus 1.5 at plus 100 right now. You have Eovaldi for the Rangers. Been one of the best arms in baseball for not just this year, but for many years. He's had dominant stretches like this. Like, this isn't some new thing. 3.12 xERA. You have the White Sox, who don't have Luis Robert. They don't have Tim Anderson. They have a 663 OPS the last 14 days, a 27% K rate. I mean, they're arguably worse than the Twins. They're just so bad too. And then you have Dylan Cease on the other side, 4.34 xERA. And this Texas offense, what's so impressive about Texas, Pete, is how good they are against right-handed pitching. They have a 344 xWOBA against righties the last 30 days, which is second highest behind the Braves. And they've crushed right-handed pitching all year, because you'll see a lot of teams like the Dodgers, for example, they murder left-handed pitching. They consistently put up just insane numbers against left-handed pitching. Against righties, not as much. Like, the Rangers just kill everybody. And these bullpens are pretty negligible, so I'm not really worried about that. But I think you're fine to play the Rangers at minus 160 for a unit. Yeah, I have it at 1.3 to win 1, but I think you can play that for one unit at minus 160.
Yeah, would you just do like 1.3 on the minus 160 to win like whatever it is?
Yeah, do that. I think that's fine. Absolutely.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm pretty damn confident in this play, especially as it moves so much. Padres Giants over 8.5 is my next play.
Okay.
And I still have PTSD from last night. I almost wish I took the over last night. But if you told me last night that, the Padres have a 2-run lead going into the 9th, the game is 4-2, I'm looking pretty good. So tonight I'm going on the over. Lugo's coming back from injury. Before he went down with injury, he had a 4.1 ERA, a 4.9 xERA. He was getting hit very hard. Him being stretched out to being a starter definitely isn't the thing for him. And he goes against the Giants offense that has an 825 OPS the last 14 days. They cannot be stopped right now. And now they're at home. They're on a 8-game winning streak, and they just can't stop hitting. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the Padres will lose tonight, because on the other side, you have Anthony Desclafani, who in over 100 plate appearances versus this Padres lineup has an xWOBA of 400. He comes into this game with a 4.31 ERA, a 4.55 xERA, and a Padres offense that has an 810 OPS the last 14 days. Pete, Fernando Tatis Jr. has a 235 WRC plus the last 12 or 15 games. Like,
he is unconscious right now.
And I would really like his overrun prop today. He'll likely be hitting leadoff, and I think that you can't go wrong taking that.
Fernando Tatis Jr. over a run.
Over half. Bullpen is also pretty taxed. I know Tyler Rogers and Taylor Rogers are both going to be available tonight, but it's beyond that. They don't have much in terms of reinforcements. And this Padres bullpen, I don't care who is available. They've been shaky. So yeah, I'm on the over 8.5. Let's see what happens.
Stuff.
I got one more.
And you got one more. You got this over, which is crashing down for us.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah,
it was at minus 120. Then it was at minus 115. Now it's at minus 110. I think the St. Louis Cardinals bats show up today against.
I do too.
Gore, man. They haven't been hitting lefties on paper, and what I mean by on paper is, in terms of actually scoring runs. But you look at their xWOBA over the last 30 days against lefties, it's a 334 xWOBA. That actually ranks in the top half against lefties over the last 30 days. And I think that Mackenzie Gore can get hit today. And then Jamon throws so many strikes, and you talked about this in your write-up. He has a 4.5 xERA right now, a 3.95 Sierra. But I think for a team like the Nationals, that's going to be very aggressive. They have the 5th lowest K rate the last 14 days. That they can have an inning where they score 4 runs in an inning. I think that's kind of what we're going to be looking for today. So I could see this one being like a 4-4 game late, and then somebody wins 5-4. But yeah, man, that's the card. I think the Tatis play is my official prize picks play of the day.
Perfect. We got you for Tatis over half a run. We got a big card, and we still have no mustache. So
yeah, I'll probably take Red Sox money line too, just to spite.
Yeah, why don't you just take Red Sox money line? Why don't you back Cutter Crawford and take us over? There was Ladder's case.
Probably should.
Yeah.
Probably should.
Yeah. Why don't you just Ladder's case? Yeah. Good luck.
Hey, Pete, I also want to remind you, if you do go 0-6 tonight and you do lose 15 games in a row, it can't be worse than being at the bottom of the ocean and the Titanic. Like you can't be that bad,
It is kind of cool to know that even if I lose every single pick today, I'll still be in the green.
It is. It's got to be a good feeling.
It's a good feeling, but I also would just like to win.
I'm rooting for you. You know that.
Appreciate you, Colby. I wish you were the smash back, but I still love you, and I'll talk to you soon, all right?
Sounds good. Good luck.
Peace out, dude. We have Faison. Where is Faison?
He's driving. He's about to pull over right now.
About to pull over. And where the hell is the milkman? Where in the hell is Javon?
He's supposed to go 620.
Oh, all right. So we're just, Henry 2888. What's up with Prime? Had a baby. Oh, I'm coming. Where's the milkman? I need the teat. Need the teat. But first, we got man of the hour. Right now he's got a black screen. Now he's gone from the queue. We got Jake Hazen coming up. We got some winners. So next up, stay tuned. We have number 3 on the leaderboard. We have number 2 on the leaderboard. You already heard from Gino, and you heard from me. We heard from DeGen. We got Ben fading me. We got Ollie on a good play. I miss Anthony DeBunda. From Action Network. Let's hear from number 3 on the leaderboard, Mr. Jake Hazen. First 5 over. Brios did not throw a no-hitter.
No, but I did say, to be fair, that we're going to get heavy lift from Hoeing, and he had a masterclass. But
let's confirm with Twitch that the car is not moving.
Car is not moving. We're parked in lovely Sioux Falls right now.
We are in a parked car, Mr. Twitch. Thank you, Twitch. Let's get to it. What do we like today?
Which one should I go for first? I guess we'll go for the.
Are you on the Phillies with me? Let's talk Phillies.
Let's talk Phillies. I'm fired up about this pick, Pete. 1.5 unit play in an underdog. This is one of my more confident plays this year. And I get it. I heard there's a lot of Strider hate today, and honestly, I think it's all for good reason. This is like pretty concerning stuff from Strider lately. His last 2 starts, there was multiple times his fastball touched 94, which is not where Strider's supposed to be at. His underlying stats are still great, but like the reason why his underlying stats are so good because his stuff is so nasty. But the issue is his stuff's also so predictable. He's in the bottom 15 percentile barrel rate, bottom 20 percentile hard hit rate. People they know what's coming. My glasses are bent, dude. What is this? I can't look at that. I can't take myself serious looking at that. He's just balls are getting mashed. I mean, Miguel Cabrera goes yard off you in 2023. There is some stuff we have to be worrying about here. I think the league is just catching on to him. Like, people brought it up last year when he was first starting, right? I mean, like, I don't know how this is going to last. He'll probably be the best closer in the league, though, but let's see how this lasts. He lasted a whole season, kind of tailed off near the end of it, and it's that regression now it's coming. It's because he's slider, fastball, super good slider, super good fastball, but fastball hasn't been as good lately, and it's just very predictable. He needs to develop his changeup more, and up until then, I think the league figured him out. And the Phillies have seen Strider plenty of times. You saw what he did to him in the NLDS. They lit him up, and I think this Phillies lineup can kind of light up Strider again. And the other side of it, you brought this up as well, is that the Rockies pitching staff is not good, and the Braves just absolutely decimated them all weekend. And when you're seeing a pitcher like that just throws pretty shitty stuff, and all they're seeing is shitty pitching, and when you face a pitcher that actually is competent, it's pretty good in Ranger Suarez, it's a big adjustment to make. And I think to add on to that as well is that Ranger Suarez last 3 appearances against the Braves, 18 innings pitched, 1 earned run. And if you want to include the playoffs too, go add another 21 innings pitches to it, to 2 earned runs. So I think Rangers going to dominate today, and this Phillies bullpen, granted it is a wild card because they're a bunch of stuff guys. You don't really know exactly what you're going to get out of them, but when their stuff is on, it's just like they could be like the best. If their bullpen was like consistent, like they could be like they had the nastiest bullpen in baseball. Like they really could. It's actually.
I agree. It could either be the best or the worst. It's just, do you have your stuff today?
Yeah. And we're going to bank them having their stuff today. Every guy should be available except for Strom, but all their higher leverage guys are good to go. This Braves bullpen, man, I'm a big Braves seller right now. I mean, even though they look good as ever, I am selling stock in the Braves. I'm pretty concerned how this team's going to compete in October with how like lopsided they depend on their bats. I don't know if this team can really win games right now. They need their pitchers to do it until Freed comes back,
and Kyle Wright's going to come back too.
Yeah,
I still like them because I look at the rest of the National League, like who's going to beat them.
Dude, don't let them. I think they better pray don't get those Giants first round.
We'll see. All right, let's go into play number 2.
Yeah, but Kyle Wright sucks. That's for another day. It's horrible. It's going to be so bad. Other play is, you got the under in the Twins game.
Yeah.
It's like Carter Crawford, red baseball savant.
Yeah, Carter Crawford. Right? Congrats. XERA. Nice XERA. How about you pitch well?
Yeah, he's going to pitch well, dude. He's got red bubble spot. Enough Cutter Crawford talk for today. Bailey Ober is a guy who, see it right now, Yuri Perez, right now, Bailey Ober, he's like 6'9", 6'10" guys. Like, that's tough to see for the first time. And he's just been pitching his ass off. And, this is like a pitch where I don't have all my shit pulled up and I just kind of bullshit it. But I just got to pray to God, and this is a risky pick because Rocco is like, he doesn't know how to manage a bullpen. Like, it's a joke. But I think the Twins do win this game after everyone kind of got burnt on them yesterday. I think it's a spot the Twins win. If the Twins are winning, that means Rocco would actually use real bullpen arms. And if that's the case, I think this Twins bullpen, which is pretty dang elite in my opinion, is the high leverage guys are. I think they can shut down this Red Sox offense. And the other side of it, the Twins just cannot hit right now. I mean, Cutter Crawford has a lot of whiff, and the Twins, they whiff quite a bit and they chase. So, yeah, I like the under 8.5 of this game after a lot of people got burnt on the under yesterday and the Twins. And the reason why I bring up the Twins as well, because it got to correlate, because the Twins have to be winning this game for this game to go under. Because if not, they'll just throw in just Pagan and then just get lit up.
Facts.
It's unbelievable.
Play number 3.
Angels
baby.
Money line. I saw their lineup. For what we have, I do like our lineup today. Wallach's at 7-hole. This Padgett dude, I don't know much about him, but my Angels guys do like him today. I did talk him up there. I'm a fan of him. This lineup for what we have is pretty good. And you compare it to this Dodgers lineup, granted, I don't think is this Dodgers lineup, even their 5 through 9 is concerning. They have a bunch of rookies right now who cannot hit.
Is Johnny DeLuca in? I mean, DeLuca can hit a lefty.
But they've all been so bad lately, dude. Just watching this team, it's just upon the last. It's dreadful.
It's not very good.
Yeah, and Reed Detmers, 5 ERA. The guy must suck, right? He did the same thing last year. He was horrible, and then he found something. He changed his stuff up a little bit, and was really good. The issue last year is that he didn't really have a slider. He redeveloped the slider and became. I mean, he was he was a top 15 second half pitcher. People don't want to talk about it. I mean, this Angels rotation. This is the thing about the Angels. This Angels rotation was 4th in starting pitcher ERA second half. So there's some positive regression coming for this rotation, and Detmers is one of them. And this is not just he pitched well, he found his stuff. No, there's some serious signals of why Detmers is going to be better going forward. So first, I was talking about his slider. His slider picked up 100 spin rate. Every single one of his pitches did not dip below 100 spin rate from his average, and he even got the 200 spin rate in some of his pitches. And he's throwing his curveball more, which has been his best pitch this season. And he's throwing it a little bit more, throwing his fastball a little bit less, and mixing that curveball a lot more. And he barely throws a changeup, only throws 5% at a time. But his last start, he just cut it out. No changeup. We're just going to throw this curveball more. We're going to utilize this pitch more. And the slider is back. I mean, the spin rate is way up. So, yeah, I think Detmers has found something again, like he did last year, and I think this match cry saw for him. And that's no fluke. Going against that Rangers lineup and being able to pitch that dang well, that mash lefties like that, that's pretty dang impressive. And I had to look into it, see if it was a fluke or not. And judging by the way his pitches were moving, it wasn't a fluke. He legitimately looked like he was back. And one thing I just love being able to say this, and I do think this Angels bullpen is going to regress, but for different reasons that you think. But right now, I think we're going to be good, and I just love that I can say this, that I can take the Angels money line. I couldn't say this last year because we have a bullpen advantage. I used to only take him first 5 last year because our bullpen is this bad. But all our guys are fully available. Estevez is good to go. He got 3 days off he had 4 days off. About time. He's working like a horse. All our top guys are available in this Dodgers bullpen. I can't believe it. I mean, they got to regress and possibly regress, right? But they're a bottom 5 bullpen MLB right now.
Yeah, I don't want to cut you off anymore because I love talking ball with you and we text all the time. But what I will say is we just got Javon next and we got games starting up soon. And we want to get the rest of this prize picks entry. So give me, because that's the rest of your picks, right?
That's it.
Give me your favorite square.
What's Detmer's square is at? What's his fantasy score?
27.5.
Yeah, over.
Reed Detmers over 27.5 fantasy score from
Mr.
Jake Hazen. Great stuff, my man. We'll definitely talk to you soon. Keep killing it for the people. You're in third for a reason.
Get it, man. Adios.
All right, man. Talk to you. Last, but certainly not least, number 2 on the leaderboard, Javon Deeb. Javon, we got to get more picks from you. We just got to get more picks. We got to get up to 100. I know.
Yeah, we had a Super Corp week this week, so we'll be back in full starting now. We should be.
And you're a perfect person to end the stream on.
Yeah,
we got to cook up the community entry and hear about your picks. So let's just get straight to the picks, and then let's cook a prize picks entry. Let's keep going. Angels money line. We love it.
Yeah. So I mean, a couple of my picks, I guess, have already been talked about. So I'm not going to go too in depth. Repeating some of the same stuff. But for the Angels, I mean, I heard you talking about, kind of buying them at their highest point, selling the Dodgers at the lowest point, which I understand that. I think the Dodgers, for me, I think the turning point for them in this little stretch is going to be this weekend against the Astros, which also I guess you could say are in the same category of kind of their lowest point now. So I think they start to kick it up this weekend. I think this little 2-game series midweek is going to be tough for them. So taking the Angels on the ML today, just to talk about a little bit of what Jake was just talking about with Detmers, especially like with slider. Like I think he shoves. That's part of kind of the gut part of it, as well as the line there and a slider. Kind of been the big reason for Rudy Detmer's success. Like you said, I mean, going up against that Rangers lineup and dominating, which we were at that game, and it was really impressive. It was absolutely no joke. And talk about a slider. I mean, it's been absolutely incredible. The way he's tweaked kind of his off-speed arsenal has been extremely impressive. And the Dodgers specifically, I mean, they rank in the bottom 10 in whiff rate against the slider, and I think he's really going to utilize that a lot. Like the thing that's impressed me most, like we talked about him kind of tweaking his off-speed arsenal, it's been different game by game to attack the weaknesses of a lot of these different lineups, and the Dodgers have a glaring one with the slider, which has been his best off-speed pitch throughout really this whole season. So I think he's going to have a real success in that. His strikeout line, absolutely soaring over. I like that play a lot. I know we have Detmer's fantasy score already in there, but I think he shoves today. I think the Angels do just enough against Kershaw there. So I like the Angels.
Good stuff. Play number 2.
Play number 2, what we got?
We got Padres. Squad
Padres. Yeah, another one that's been talked about a little bit. I mean, Krabs kind of told you a little bit about the line. I think that coming off of the injured list there, I'm shocked to see them favored in this game with as well as the Giants are playing here. I thought it would be at the least a pick 'em. But I will say for DeSclafani, I've found success in targeting these certain matchups for him, which most of them come against patient teams, which the Padres have now started to overtake the Cubs as the most patient team in the league, especially against right-handed pitching. They have the highest walk rate, highest walk per K rate in the league against right-handed pitching. So I think they're going to work DeSclafani into a lot of deep counts, and they're going to force him to make pitches over the plate, which for a team that's seeing the ball the way that they are and barreling the ball the way they are, I mean, especially at the top of that lineup with Tatis and Soto, who look extremely locked in right now. Like, I think he's going to get into trouble early and often. So he gives up plenty of hard contact, and you look at his numbers, certainly due for regression. We've been through this story multiple times before this season. I think it's really going to come back to bite him, and I think the Giants kind of cool down starting today.
Good stuff, my man. Play number 3. Obviously, Krabs doing a 3-unit Megalodon baby beluga, whatever the hell. And guys are riding. Arizona, Milwaukee under 9.
Yeah, so this is similar. I don't know if you remember, but the Brewers Astros under, where it was Corbin Burns, I believe, Framber Valdez the day before, soared over because I think one of the teams scored like 15. Went back to this under the next day with Colin Ray on the mound. I'm doing the same thing here. We saw Merrill Kelly, Corbin Burns soar over yesterday. Early and often, I guess it didn't go over by that much in the end, but it really never had a pulse because the D-backs jumped on Corbin for, I think, 6 in the first. So now we have, Colin Rea and Ryan Nelson, who is probably the scariest part of this all, on the mound today with a 9.5 total, depending where you look. We got 9 here on BetMGM for plus money. But I actually don't mind Ryan Nelson in this matchup a lot. You talk about the Brewers. I always kind of target their fastball hitting because really outside of the top of that lineup with Christian Yelich, Rowdy Tellez, and then in certain matchups, I guess you could look at like a William Contreras type guy. But other than that, there's not a lot of great fastball hitters in this lineup. And the ones that they do have, the ones in the lineup that do have better numbers are more platoon guys. Like you talk about Owen Miller, who is certainly great, and he's kind of improved along that platoon split, but much better numbers, fastballs against left-handed pitchers. Like obviously, it's kind of what he's there for. But a lot of these guys are kind of the same, and at the bottom of that lineup, there's not much there. So I think he's going to do a great job at kind of getting the Brewers to hit into some soft contact, or maybe they'll just get lucky. I don't know what it's going to be, but I think he's going to pitch pretty well today. And this Brewers lineup has just really not impressed me. That's no secret as of late. They can't hit, period. Even when they string together a couple hits, they can't hit with runners in scoring position. So even if we have foot traffic, I'm not scared. And then, Colin Rea, same thing too. We talk about this D-backs lineup, like other than Corbin Carroll and Ketel Marte, all the best sinker hitters are like Pavin Smith, Dom Fletcher when he's playing, Josh Rojas, Emmanuel Rivera, who are all either not on the team right now and on the roster or not going to play today. So a lot of the sinker hitters are going to be the guys that have the highest ground ball rates, the highest soft contact rates on the team, that are hitting really in the bottom 2/3 of that lineup. So like another situation where Colin Rea can have some success just getting guys to ground into weaker ground balls, throughout the infield, which is how he's found success in certain starts here, just like that Astros game where I took the under the first time. So I like their matchup. I think it pitches well, or they're going to pitch well, and I like the situation to go back to this under here.
We're going to play number 4.
Play number 4. Got the over in the Reds-Rockies game, which I really like too for situational reasons. I think the Jen touched on that too. Going back, a lot of people were on it yesterday, and probably the most obvious over spot you could go to, and it fell short a little bit at the end. Didn't get much offense as you thought, and now I'm going back to it. No Davis, just to call it simple, is bad. He's going to have a short leash. He gets obliterated by lefties. So you're talking about a lot of the guys for the Reds who are going to have a big impact. You look at Votto, who I think is going to stay hot for this little early stretch that he's been back. Elliot De La Cruz, who has a fantastic matchup against him. I mean, you can even look at Will Benson, who's sneakily been kind of the glue of the bottom of that lineup for a lot of the people who've been watching this Reds lineup, which I haven't really been on in the last week to kind of circle back to that. But I'm not going to victory lap it, but the Reds are hot, and I'm excited.
Reds are hot.
Reds
Another
are
baby.
Hot. But, yeah, I think he just gets absolutely torched. And you talk about the bullpen. I mean, the Rockies are coming off of that series against the Braves where they used every arm in their bullpen 16 times. They had a little off day in between, if I'm not mistaken. Or actually they didn't. But they also yesterday you had Bard, Bird, Lawrence, and I believe Brad Hand also all pitched yesterday. So, I mean, this bullpen is going to have to get gone to early because Noah Davis is going to pitch 4, maybe 5 if they can really stretch them out, and you're going to see a lot of usage out of that Rockies bullpen. So you're going to get the back end arms. So not that they really scare me in the first place. They're not a terrible bullpen, but you're going to get the B arms there, and I'm not scared. Ben Lively too, slight barrel issue. And you talk about like Nolan Jones, Ryan McMahon, love their matchups. I think he's going to give up his fair share of runs as well. And, the Reds bullpen too, they've been taxed heavily over this run. I mean, Alexis Diaz has pitched almost every single game of this run. Same with, Buck Farmer, Lucas Sims, Alex Young, a lot of those guys, they've been used to death. So I think if we get a little slower of a start, I'm really not worried about what we're going to get from these lineups against these bullpens late.
Fair enough. Okay, so those are the 4, the big 4. And the only reason I'm rushing is because we just got to get in this prize pick entry.
Yeah, I got you.
So what is your favorite on the slate?
So my favorite prop, it would be Nolan Jones, but I know you said, I think you already put Ryan McMahon in the entry, right?
But I personally like Nolan Jones more. I don't even think, is Nolan Jones even on Prize Picks? Yes, he is. He is on for 1.5 hits. I like that. I personally, because like when we were doing our home run segment, Nolan Jones and Seth Brown were my favorite home run guys today.
Yeah, he's mine. That's my favorite. We were talking about Dinger Tuesday. I mean, so that's certainly my favorite. And then maybe if you don't want to put 2 Rockies in there, I also like Rougned Odor over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBI. Talking about DeSclafani, who has a serious lefty problem, and he's going to face Rougned Odor, who, when he's up for this, I mean, he goes absolutely nuclear. I love where he's in the lineup as well. But I really like his matchup today, along with the rest of that lineup.
Okay, let's cook. So we got Odor written down. We have so producer Conan, if you could share the screen. Oh yeah, we're shared already. So I'm gonna run through. So we got Rougned Odor, we got Nolan Jones, we got Reed Detmers over, we got Tatis over a run, we got Lane Thomas over run, we got Cutter Crawford over 5 Ks, Garrett Cole over 8 Ks, Ryan McMahon over 7.5, and Alex Kirilloff over 1.5 hits RBIs. If I counted correctly, that's 9. We need 6. Of the ones you heard, Javon, what's your least favorite?
My least favorite.
My least favorite is, I hate to say it, my least favorite is Garrett Cole over 8 Ks. I think it's a little like Lance Lynn just struck them out for 16. Let's take Garrett Cole.
Yeah, it's fair. I usually try not to get so caught up in that part of it when it has to do with the Mariners against a righty, because that's just been kind of my autoplay. But I mean, with Garrett Cole, like I do like the 8. I like the over there, but I wouldn't be surprised even if it lands there.
Yeah.
So I mean, that I guess I kind of agree there.
What's your least favorite?
My least favorite? I don't know. Those are actually all very solid props.
No, I agree. That's why it took me a little bit. I'm just going to drop them in chat for people, so you can kind of see Javon in chat if you want to look at it.
Yeah. That's so tough. Those are actually, I like a lot of those plays. I'm on a lot of those plays. Even though
Chad, is there anyone that you guys do not like? Huh.
I mean, the only one like I 100% like Alex Kirilloff's matchup. I just have trouble taking him a lot because of the platoon aspect of it, and he has to get his stuff very, very quickly.
Yeah,
I know there's no garlic anymore, so maybe a little bit of that's eliminated, but it's tough.
All right, so we'll eliminate that one. We'll eliminate Kirilloff. Okay, let's get him out of here. So we got McMahon, Cole. I mean, we should probably just pick a Rocky. I like Nolan Jones more than McMahon, but I do kind of think both of them hit. I like both of them. I like Nolan Jones. I think he has a better matchup today. I think he's a better power hitter than McMahon is. I think he's a little more sneaky. I'd rather take Nolan Jones than Ryan McMahon, but I do like Ryan McMahon. So, like,
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, too, I think the crucial part of the difference for me, too, is we're talking about a 1.5 hits, runs, and RBI versus, what, a 7.5 fantasy score.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like McMahon's going to steal a base.
Hey, he can. He's sneaky sometimes. But
how many steals does he have? Like 6?
He's got a handful, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but like he's not a guy where it's like, oh yeah, he could definitely steal a base here.
Yeah. I know. I'm just saying. But yeah, I mean, I like Nolan Jones just for the value on that prop necessarily a little more than Ryan McMahon.
I also love him hitting second in the lineup today.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, McMahon has. He has 4. And he's been caught stealing 3 times. He ain't stole base 3. Let's not do that. So now we're down to Cole, Crawford, Lane Thomas, Tatis. 1, 2, 3. So we need to cut one. I'll play Garrett Cole over A-Case. I'm down to root for that. I'm a Yankee fan. It's not hitting, but I'm down to root for it. Cutter Crawford, he's going to hit his case, but I don't like it.
He is hitting his case.
Yeah. Lane Thomas over half a run, I do like. I just want to root for that. Tatis over run's kind of sneaky. I know it sounds crazy. Do we want to take Detmers over fantasy score? Like, absolutely. I know it got bumped down from 28.5 to 27.5.
I'm not too concerned personally. But
I'm not too concerned either, but with a bunch of other really good plays, right, we have to be selective.
It's also fair. That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Lane Thomas over a run. It's like, would you rather play Reed Detmers fantasy score or Lane Thomas over a run? Like, we could play Reed Detmers over it.
It's a great question.
I'm full of them.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about these two, because honestly, like the way that I went about it, I played Detmer strikeout to kind of take out the any element of innings or quality start or possibly the win, which I guess you really don't need the win necessarily to go over his fantasy score now that you only need 28. But I don't know. I think he could get his strikeouts without necessarily having a fantastic start, which is why I
kind of agree. I'm down to ride a Detmers train because I already like the Angels. We could put Detmers. Should we put Lane? Yeah, I want to put Lane Thomas in there. Detmers. So now we need one more. So now we're down to Odor versus Tatis. I know which one you're probably going to go with.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I already have my prop in there, so don't have to put Odor in there over one of the hottest hitters in the league right now. I have no argument against that.
I don't mind it. So, yeah, why don't we put that last one to a vote? Odor versus Tatis, ladies and gentlemen. 2 completely different players. Fernando Tatis Jr. or Rougned Odor. Let me hear it. I want to hear it. What do we think? And I assume, Javon, if you had to vote, you would go Odor.
I mean, yeah, of course. But I'm a man of the people.
Can you go to Tatis and click on those little green lines? How often has he just gotten this every single time? Tatis over a run. Tatis is the taco. Odor. Yep, Odor.
The taco?
No way.
The taco for Tatis?
Is that actually true?
Is that what?
No way. Prize picks. Do you see that, Producer Cohen? Tatis taco? I don't see a taco. Tatis run is minus 150 on books and has been dropping. Dropping like minus one, like it started at minus 140 or it's a fake bang.
Could be a fake bang.
Macy, can you tell me if it was minus 140 to minus 150 or like I saw minus 160 earlier? Give me a
Oh, so it's the late night taco. So it's going to be
it's
going to be loading up here soon.
Get me the hell out of Tatis. So this is the 6-piece, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to post it on our Twitter. Javon, we'll say goodbye and we'll do a little outro. Thanks again for helping us cook, and good luck on your plays, my friend. Of course, you're probably going to kill it. Like
Go
you
Reds.
usually do. Go Reds. Bruce Coney, you want to go back to main screen for a second? Okay, so flash that one. I'm going to lock it in right now. So we got Odor. We got, can you pull up the prize picks one just so we got Nolan Jones? We got Garrett Cole, which is not hitting, but I'm down to play it. We got Cutter, which is also not hitting, but down to play it. Lane Thomas probably hits, but probably not. I'm just being so negative. We got Detmers over K's. Who's the last one? Who am I forgetting? Lane Thomas. Lane Thomas overrun. All right, we got to lock this in. More. You want to click the mores with me as I do it? More. They're all more. Great. Bound to go well. All right, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see there, if you want to tail along, code Just Baseball, you all know the drill. Bang. 100 million to win 200 million. Yeah, Tatis is not going in here. Let's get back to the regular stream. So that's the prize picks entry. Make sure you tail along. Use code Just Baseball. Let's raid somebody. Who do we want to raid? We got two options that I see for recommended channels. We got Ref That Bets. And we got Chelly. Who do we want to raid? I'm glad you guys like the stream, by the way. Chelly or Ref That Bets? We want to spread the love. Who do you guys want us to raid? Chelly? Chelliard? Chelly Nobu Nerfy stream? Chelly? All right. That's enough Chellys. Let's ref Chelly to Corp. What does that even mean? Ref Chelly to Corp. That's too many. All right. Use raid. Guys, again, remember it's not gambling advice. Love you guys. Let's go 6-0. One at us. See you guys.